here in Braves country.
Me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pub cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight in the mixed win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's inside. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry,
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam, ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. A hanger, and she's gone, baby.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. One run is in. Here comes Brave. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first. And here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We direct your attention now to home plate.
Please remain standing. We call your attention to our bands here today. They will be jointly directed. And now, another fixture. Our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Play ball!
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Hey Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. in Vietnam, Braves country, as man, it all fell apart, didn't it? Gosh, dog it. I really thought Bryce Elder was going to pitch better in the final game of the series. I thought we had a very good chance of winning it. Looking at the game after all the emotions kick to the side and you get a chance to really dive into it, I mean, when it's all said and done, Elder was outpitched by Alcantara. And Alcantara went 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, 2 walks. He's still not back where he was. Alcantara, when he is rocking and rolling at the top of his game, he is a guy that's going to go out there and give you about 6 to 7 innings. You're going to be lucky to get a run, and he's going to strike out a half dozen or more. But he's still coming back from that injury, but he did enough to win the ball game. And unfortunately, the Braves lose that series, and now it's on to New York. And obviously, the Mets series is much bigger. If you could pick a series you want to win, you'd want to win the Mets series. But it feels like you're leaving wins on the table. It feels like that you're letting things slip through your fingers, because it's different if you've had a good season prior to yesterday's game and you drop a series to Miami. It's not that big of a deal. But when you've had such a horrific start to the season, 2 7-game losing streaks, you got to make up for it by winning games that you have in your grasp and that you should definitely win. And so with that being said, we're going to go into New York. And if you ask me right now, would I take a split in the Mets series and head home to face Philadelphia with everybody healthy, all that assumed? I'd probably say yes. Give me the split. We'd like to gain ground on the Mets, but at the end of the day, if we don't lose ground in their stadium, then we can live to fight another day. So if you look at the matchups and what I have on the screen right there, ESPN has not updated it. What we're being told from the Mets and from MLB.com is that it's going to be Blackburn on Monday. Frankie Montas is going to make his debut on Tuesday, and Clay Holmes on Wednesday, and Griffin Canning on Thursday. So what you see on your screen is not correct. The other thing is, it appears that Spencer Strider is going to go Tuesday and not Wednesday. In a perfect world, what this was going to be was Schwellenbach to Sale to Strider to Grant Holmes, and I would have loved our chances to win the series. Instead, what it looks like it's going to be is Schwellenbach, Strider on normal rest, Schwellenbach on extra rest, and then Didier Fuentes on normal rest on Wednesday, and the same for Grant Holmes. You have 2 Holmes guys in this series, one on each side. Grant Holmes for the Braves on Thursday. And so if we assume that, and that's what we're being told across the board, so I do believe that's what we're going to get. I think the Braves have a decided advantage in game 1, Schwellenbach versus Blackburn. We got to Blackburn. Schwellenbach pitched really well against the Mets. Now here's the caveat you have to keep up with, is the fact that all these guys are being seen twice in less than a week on both sides. And so the advantage does go to the batter. And with that being said, the advantage goes to New York because they have a better offense right now. They just do. The Braves offense, we're going to get into it in a minute, but it's horrific. When you look at the numbers, they're staggering. We'll get into it here in a second. But I'm going off the pitching matchups because pitching does win games. Schwellenbach on Monday versus Blackburn, that should be a win. Strider versus Montas, who has struggled in the minors his last couple of starts, and honestly wasn't anything to write home about before the injury. Tuesday night, that should be a win. And so Wednesday, Clay Holmes versus Didier Fuentes, let's be honest, we're going to be huge underdogs in that game. And then you got Thursday, and I do believe this is a true toss-up. It's Grant Holmes versus Griffin Canning. And the Griffin Canning's put good numbers up. Remember, the Mets have played a very, very weak schedule so far. And so with that weak schedule, Griffin Canning took advantage. He got pelted around the yard by the Phillies the other night. And he's going to be at home. He's going to be going up against a much weaker offense in Atlanta. So he'll probably put out a pretty decent number. But he's not unhittable. He just isn't. I think the top of the order for the Braves will be able to get to Canning. The question is going to be, what do we get out of the bottom of the order? And I do believe that that is the main thing that we can look at for this entire series. What is the bottom of the order of the Atlanta Braves going to bring to the table? Because the top of the order for the Braves is pretty darn good. But Acuna and Olsen can't do it all. Riley is doing his fair share. Ozuna is doing his fair share, even with the hip injury. You can say the same for our catcher position because the split between Murphy and Baldwin, though I still believe Baldwin should be getting more starts than Murphy. At this point, the way Baldwin swings the bat, I would like to see Drake Baldwin out there. If we have a 6, or this week it's a 7 games in the week, I mean, honestly, 4 to 5 should automatically go to Baldwin. In a 6-game week, I think 4. So in a 7-game week, I can buy into 4, but I would prefer 5 because he just gives you a much better at bat. And in this week, we're not facing a left-hander. So I don't think you can just say, well, you're never going to start Murphy unless it's against a left-hander. You have to get Drake in every day. I don't think we're there yet. But I do believe that in this matchup, I want Drake. You know, the game that I would want Murphy in the most would be Wednesday's game with Fuentes on the mound so that he can guide the youngster. But Schwellenbach, Strider, and even Grant Holmes, they don't really need that big veteran presence behind the plate. Drake's calling good games, and Fuentes to me is the one that really needs it. But I think what you're probably going to get is a split. That's neither here nor there. We'll put that aside. I'm done beating that horse. The analytic department does not understand the actual game itself. They only care about expected stats, and what do I say? Expected stats are all fables. But going into the series, if you look at it, we should win the first 2 games. And then if you can split just one of those last 2, most likely a better chance of beating Canning with Holmes than you are Fuentes with their Holmes. We've got a decent chance to win this series. But the biggest question of all, and honestly, I know a lot of people want to dive in and beat up the bullpen of the Braves and say that it's not there because the starting pitching, I get it. Elder didn't do a great job yesterday, but all in all, the starting pitch has been pretty good. But the Braves bullpen, it's decent. If you look at where it is in the grand scheme of things in all of Major League Baseball, the Braves sit about middle of the pack, and they've been much better since the beginning of May. They're top 10 since the beginning of May. So the bullpen is not realistically the problem, though. We have punted some games, and I hate the fact that they got rid of Scotty B to bring in what was essentially a one and done with Ruiz. There was no point of bringing Ruiz in. And so that really hurt their depth. I thought yesterday Austin Cox looked pretty good, but it was against the Marlins, and they had a lead, and were they kind of – and it was also the first time they'd ever seen him. So I don't know what to expect from him in the future, but I do believe that long-term what you could get out of Austin Cox is a decent bullpen arm. And he was throwing 95. He had a couple of pitches that were right there painting on the knees. Whether he can do that routinely, I don't know. We've seen such a small sample size of him. But if he's a guy that they could turn into something as a bullpen piece, and I'm not even talking about this year, I'm talking about going forward, that gives you the ability to maybe trade away an Aaron Bummer. That gives you the ability to go out and get a more dominant piece towards the back of the bullpen, because we still haven't heard a peep about Joe Jimenez in recent times. I haven't heard an update on him in quite some time. So I still say, like I said during the offseason, I don't think we see him this year. And if the Braves are floundering and well out of the playoff race, there's no point to see him.
They signed him to an extension, but that's even more reason to not see him if you think he's not ready. I get it. Relievers tend to come back quicker than starters, and all you have to do is get his feet under him. And you really found out this year. Just think about how he struggled to score runs last year. There really isn't much of a difference. Though last year we were all blaming it on injuries. When it's all said and done, it's the production. And this year and last year are very similar to the fact that we're not scoring runs. But last year we had such a good bullpen. By the end of the year, the bullpen was top 3. I believe it ended up finishing 2nd overall, and it was 1st from June on. But losing Minter, and I get it, he's on the IL. It doesn't realistically mean that he's been lost altogether. Maybe he would have been injured in Atlanta, maybe not. Maybe Atlanta would have treated him with kid gloves, and he would just now be getting back. I thought it was really odd that the Mets brought him in as early as they did. When we had Minter, we had Jimenez in the back of that bullpen. And even with some of the guys that, everyone likes to complain about, those guys are now towards the back of the bullpen because we have no Minter. We have no Jimenez. Iglesias fell off. He's starting to look a little better his last couple outings, but is that because he's not being asked to close the game? I don't know. I can't imagine that's got anything to do with it. He's been a closer for quite some time and had one of the all-time great seasons last year for a closer. Maybe not number of saves, but as far as when he went in, it was lights out. So this series, to me, is going to come down to the offense for the Braves. How many runs can they scratch out per game? If we can get 4 to 5 runs in a game, we're going to win the game most likely because our pitching has been that good. Maybe not when Didier Fuentes pitches on Wednesday, because if we get 4 or 5 runs against Clay Holmes, that may not be enough. But I'm talking about the other 3 games. The other 3 games, when you have Schwellenbach and Strider and Grant Holmes, who isn't automatic, but he gives you good innings. He gives you good outings. If you get 5 runs, I think that's the key to the series, sans Wednesday. But let's take a look at that offense because it has been atrocious. It has been one of the worst offenses when you look at just the bare numbers on what is really going down with the Atlanta Braves offense. It is, embarrassing doesn't even really cover it. It's dumbfounding that Anthopoulos, who is known as a very good GM, and I'm not questioning his ability as a general manager, but how did the offense get to this point? The guy has put an offense out here in 2 consecutive years that just isn't scoring runs. And it was all the more head-scratching to me that when he wasn't scoring runs, and he knew. So I think the connection was lost for a second on the YouTube, but it is what it is. I think we're having some internet issues in the area. I think we're good to go over on TikTok. So if we do lose you, we'll continue this over on TikTok. When it's all said and done, Kimbrel wasn't even signed till late in the spring, so he was not a part of any kind of plan to put together. So what they did in the offseason, they really did not a whole lot of nothing. They signed a bunch of journeymen is what they did, and they hoped they could slap it on the wall, and they thought they could work with the guys and get them to a point to where when you get to the All-Star break, there was a guy on X that I was talking back and forth with, and I ended up dropping because I didn't want to go in the whole deep dive to really get into what happened. The offseason was, he's got some kind of a radio show in southern Georgia, I believe. But the offseason, the Braves were not aggressive on a couple of fronts, and I believe the reason being was they wanted to be able to be more aggressive at the trade deadline. And I do not believe they were ever intending to cross the tax threshold that would have been dollar for dollar, so you'd have paid 100% tax, and you would have lost the first-round draft pick. And that's a gut punch to a franchise that doesn't build that way. It's not going to matter anything for a franchise that can absorb that kind of deal like the Dodgers and whatnot, because they'll go over the tax threshold and laugh because they'll continue to go to the tax threshold, continue to lose draft picks because they look at it as those draft picks are never going to play for us in a championship window anyways. So why the hell do we care? We're not building for 7-10 years down the road. Same thing with the Mets and Steve Cohen. when you look at it in that vacuum, I believe they were. I said this back in the preseason, in the off season, and by the way, to that point, on our YouTube page for the country club members this off season, we're going to come on twice a week. Come Hello High Water. We're going to talk Braves, but we're all going to talk about anything that's going on in the world of baseball because we want to keep you up to date and in the know. And it's really easy for days and weeks to go by where where you don't think there's big news, but there's little things that drop out, and I think it's good for the fan to be able to know what's going on. That's only going to be available to the country club members. I don't think we'll be doing a whole lot of it on TikTok, but on TikTok we're bringing the football show back in August, and August it's going to be available to everybody, the country club members, and specifically the baseball show. And when we bring those back, we're doing those on Thursday and Friday. I haven't set this time yet, but I do know I want it earlier than later, so most likely sometime in the mid-morning. And then, of course, you can go back and watch it whenever the hell you want. But we're most likely going to bring those to the country club members first up. I'll put a pin in the actual strategy behind it, members during the off season. And we're going to do it the whole time from November when free agency begins to all the way into going into spring training. So you want to make sure to sign up because we're not just going to go over what the Braves are doing, but also what are the teams that we're competing against? What are they doing? What's the rumors going like? And then, of course, when we do the winter meetings, we might actually do more than two. It might be a 3 or 4 day deal. So we'll throw these numbers out at you. And these, to me, kind of tell the tale. But when you're talking about the worst batters in baseball, which via OPS, and OPS to me is the number on base plus slugging. It basically tells you how often the guy gets on, and when he does get on, what's he doing to get on? Is he just slapping singles like a Nick Allen, or is he hitting doubles, triples, home runs, etc.? The worst OPS leaders in all of Major League Baseball right now of qualified batters, and you do have to put an asterisk on that. Number 6 on the list. I'm sorry, it's not number 7. They flip-flopped over the weekend. Number 7 on the list is Michael Harris II at a 593 OPS. Number 10 on the list is Ozzie Albies at a 617 OPS. Okay? Now, these are just qualified batters. Nick Allen is not a qualified batter. You can say that again. Now, Nick Allen does not qualify for these numbers to be ranked in this argument, right? But if you look at Nick Allen's numbers, and this is what one of the writers was talking about. So Harris, Ozzie, and then when you put Nick Allen in there, and he was going off a couple other metrics that are all realistically the same. But Nick Allen, if he qualified, he doesn't qualify, because he didn't take the starting position over for good, and he'll eventually be in a qualifier if he continues to start for the Braves. But if so, Harris's WRC plus, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a statistic, a way to rank the batters. He's 57, Allen's 60, which means both of them are down on the list. Ozzie Albies is down on the list. And we're not even talking about the days when Sean Murphy is out there. So to me, you can make the argument, and then neither one of them qualify either. But if we take a look at the fact that we're platooning our outfield with two guys who are not hitting the ball well, right? So let's take a look at the first one. Let's take a look at, I'll leave Stuart Fairchild alone. He hasn't had nearly enough at-bats. Let's look at Alex Verdugo. His OPS is 607. His OPS is 607. And if your OPS is 607, where would that rank on that list? It would rank tied for 8th with Josh Bell for the worst. So his OPS is 607. So even though you see the 247 batting average, what it's saying is that when he does get a base hit, he's not doing a whole hell of a lot with it. And then if you look at Eli White, his is a little better. It's a little higher. It's still not 700. And to me, 700 is the bare minimum to say the guy's having an okay year. He's sitting at 678. But why the hell does he not get enough at bats? Because every metric tells you that Eli White does a better job on at the plate than Alex Verdugo. And he's a much better defender than Alex Verdugo. And he's a much better base runner. So when he does get a base hit, if it's a single like Verdugo's getting, he's more likely to go first to third on the next hit. He's more likely to steal second base. It makes zero sense that they keep putting Verdugo out there. Eli White needs some damn starts. And we have 4 games this series. 4 against right-handers. We obviously haven't seen the lineup yet. So we'll see if they change it for today. Because this show comes on at noon Eastern for those of y'all who might be listening to the replay. You can't send Alex Verdugo out there all 4 games. And really, you need Eli White out there for 2 of them. The guy's getting in I think it's pretty remarkable that his OPS is close to 700, considering the fact he never gets an at-bat. He's had 156 at-bats this year. And Alex Verdugo, who, remember, joined the team very late in the spring, he's already had 182 at-bats. He still has no home runs. So this offense, it's not a third of it is a dead zone for half of the offense. And on the days that Murphy plays, it's over half because Murphy, and I like Sean Murphy as a catcher. He hits fine when it comes to a catcher. If you're talking about what catchers do nowadays, and his OPS is in the mid 750s. So it's not like he's a complete dud, but it's night and day compared to him and Baldwin against each other. It really is. But we'll make the argument that Sean Murphy's not quite dead, right? He's a halvesy. But that means that on the days that he plays, half the lineup is a dead zone. Half the lineup. Because if you have Verdugo, for those of you who don't know the nicknames we have for him on Braves Country, when you have Verdugo, Harris, Nick Allen, and Ozzie Albies, that's your 1 through 4. That's been your 1 through 4 all weekend. They're not coming up with any damn hits. And every time you think you've seen Ozzie or Michael come out of it, you're like, this might get him going. It's been a total lie. It's been one game, and then it's back to the crapper. So the offense is the biggest question mark of this team. If this offense was more reliable, the Braves would be at 500 or better by now. Because you've had enough good pitching to get you to that point. Now, this is all the bad news I'm throwing out here. I do want to give you some good news. And I don't think it's anything to sneeze on. If you look at the Braves and you look at their schedule going forward, this week is a tough one. It is a very tough one, right? We have 4 at the Mets and 3 at home against Philly. And that's not nothing. When we get out of this hellfire, because we just came off of 3 with New York and Miami on the road, divisional opponent, that's never easy. But when we get out of this, we have a 2-week stretch that begins next Tuesday, that if the Braves are serious about getting themselves back into the fold, they have got to dominate. It is 3 at home against the Angels. It is 3 at home against the Orioles. The Angels are playing above their weight right now, but it's not a great roster. The Orioles are just dead. And you've got to at least win that series, if not sweep it. And then they go out to Oakland for 3, and Oakland has not played good baseball at all this year. And then they finish it off with the toughest series of that back half stretch at St. Louis for 3. But I don't think there's any reason why the Braves can't go in and take 2 of 3. By the way, once again, we're going to be out and about, meeting all y'all up on that Sunday, July 13th, right before the All-Star game. St. Louis and the Braves play 2:15. We're planning on being there by 2. And I don't have it in front of me, but the tavern that's right there in Atlanta, we'll get the information back out to you. We'll try to share it on a pretty daily basis when we hit the month of July. But this offense is the reason why the Braves are not winning. It's not the pitching. The bullpen has been okay. It hasn't been outstanding, but it's been okay. It is the hitting. And it's the reason why we've been in so many low-scoring one-run games. The offense has to find a way to start clicking. But I saw a guy make a post yesterday, and I have to agree with him. I don't think Michael Harris takes his craft as a hitter as serious as he does as a defender. Seeing some of the interviews that we've seen over the years, he never has a complete answer when they ask him about hitting, even when he has a good night of hitting. It's just the all shucks, they make adjustments, I make adjustments, very generic answers. When you listen to guys like Riley and Olsen and Acuna and the guys you know really love hitting, Ozuna, and they ask them about what happened that night, especially on a night where they were really putting in the offensive production. They always have answers that are much more detailed and tell you what they were thinking and what happened. And you can tell that hitting is something they love. I don't think it's something Harris loves. So he's going to be a defensive liability for the rest of his an offensive liability for the rest of his contract. Defensively, he's borderline genius, right? He's tops of the tops. I wouldn't take any defensive center fielder over Michael Harris. And we've signed him into this long-term deal. There's nothing you can do. When people say DFA him you can't do that. You're stuck. You're paying him so much damn money. So you got to find a way to make it work. I still say, and the one time that we did it, he had a good offensive day. I still say put him back down at the 9 spot and leave him there. But he had one good offensive day, and they shot him back up. Because the analytic department that makes the lineup, it's not Snicker, guys. It's not Walt Weiss. None of the managers make the Braves lineup. The analytical department saw that one game and shot him back up the lineup because they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're literally a bunch of pencil-pushing dorks who have never played the game, and they're just reading stat sheets. They probably couldn't pick any of these guys out in a lineup. That's how little they watch the game. I'm not saying it would fix the end-all that beats all, but Michael Harris sitting at the bottom of that lineup with Acuna right behind you. He's going to, and they're not all going to be fastballs. But he's going to see pitches in the zone. You're not going to be pitching around a guy like Harris if Acuna's on deck. But if Nick Allen's on deck and there's 2 outs, you're damn right you're going to pitch around Harris. Because if he gets into one, it's spaghetti-o. If you walk him, which he hasn't walked in, 29 games in a row, 30, 31, whatever the hell it is, some ridiculous stat that doesn't even look real. It's Allen at the plate, and you feel like you can probably get him out. Yeah, there's a chance he could dribble a base hit, but he's not clocking one over the wall, and that's the problem. They build this offense. I've said it forever. Nick Allen needs to go to the 8 spot. Flat out simple. They don't have anyone else who can play a better shortstop defensively. And offensively, Luke Williams is even less than. But what you have to do, and maybe from time to time you need to bench Nick Allen, give him a breather. They don't bench any of these guys, and they go out there day after day after day and go through the motions. It's not going to be the end of the world if you bench Ozzie Albies for a game. It's not going to be the end of the world if you bench Michael Harris for a game. Just to give them an opportunity to see the game a little differently. Eli can play center field. Luke can play second base. Luke can play short. It's not the end of the damn world, but they act like, oh, we got to have everybody out there, and we're going to roll everybody out there according to the WRC plus, and that's it. Here we go. Let's go. It's a bunch of horse crap is what it is, but yet it's not management. Nah, man, it's all the players. That is the biggest lie told to the American public that has ever been told, that Brian Snitker's doing fine. The way he doesn't, quote-unquote, chase wins drives me bananas. When you're not a great team, and we're not a great team, you have to chase the wins you can get, because they're not just going to fall into your lap like they did in 2023 and 22 and that hot run they had in 21 that won it all. But what this series is going to come down to is going to be that offense. And if it clicks, I think the pitching will be there and we'll be fine. Do they make the right adjustments after seeing, was it 2 of these guys for a second time? Holmes and Blackburn they saw last week. They haven't seen Montas, and they didn't see Canning. But it's going to be about the offense, and it's going to be about whether or not they make the adjustments. And, of course, you need good pitching. I get that, but I just assume they'll pitch as well as they've pitched all year long. You can't have the defensive gaffes that we've seen from time to time. Riley's got to tighten it up over there at third. We can't give away bases to this New York Mets offense. This offense, even though they're floundering and playing bad baseball right now, the Mets offense is still a very good offense. I've had question marks about their pitching all along because I felt like that they played a much weaker schedule, but they got a 10-game cushion on us, so they don't have to worry about it. Even if we sweep them, we'll be 6 behind. So there you have it. We're going to go ahead and jam out of here. Y'all have a good one, Braves country, and hopefully the Braves can win this series. I would love a 3-1. We split the series, you'll live with it. And then if you can win the series at home against the Phillies this weekend, then you go into that final stretch of those 12 games that I mentioned. You go 8-4 or better in those final 12 games I mentioned, you're going to be right there at the 500 mark. And then it's a whole new ball game when we get on the other side of the All-Star break. Y'all have a great one, Braves country. First pitch, 7:10 tonight. It's not 7:15, it's 7:10 because we are in New York. Hey, Braves country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Keep playing like this, will be the laughing stock of the league.
All right, boys, let's get back to basics. This is a baseball. The object of the game is to keep the baseball within the confines of the...
You're in Braves country.
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live as the Braves are on the road, and we're set to bring you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac McGee. Here's your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and playing right field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Ronald Acuna Jr. 8 home runs, 15 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .396. Batting second, playing first, Matt Olson. 15 home runs, 49 RBI, a .250 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 11 home runs, 40 RBI, batting .253. Batting cleanup and playing third, Austin Riley. 12 home runs, 40 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .272. Batting fifth, playing second, it's Ozzie Albies. 6 home runs, 27 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .224. Sean Murphy is batting sixth and behind home plate. 9 home runs, 21 RBI, batting .219. Patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris. 6 homers, 42 RBI, 11 stolen bases, a .223 average. Batting eighth and in left field, Eli White. Batting .250, 3 home runs, 15 RBI, 5 stolen bases. And batting ninth, and at short, it's Nick Allen. A .223 average with 13 RBI, 6 stolen bases. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, it's Spencer Schwellenbach day. He's 5-4 with a 3.26 ERA, a 1.01 whip. 96 innings, 92 strikeouts versus 16 walks, 12 home runs, 82 hits allowed. He'll be going head-to-head with Paul Blackburn. Blackburn is 0-1 with a 6.92 ERA and a 1.69 whip. 13 innings, 8 strikeouts versus 18 hits, 4 walks, 1 home run served. Leading off and playing short for the New York Metropolitans, it's Francisco Lindor. 16 home runs, 42 RBI, 13 stolen bases, batting .270. Brandon Nimmo batting second, playing left. 15 home runs, 41 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .254. Juan Soto batting third, playing right. 16 homers, a .255 average, 41 RBI, 8 stolen bases. Pete Alonso batting cleanup, playing first. 18 homers, 64 RBI, a .290 clip. Jeff McNeil is at second with a .250 average. He has 8 home runs, 23 RBI, 1 stolen base. Tyrone Taylor batting .232 and in center field. 2 home runs, 15 RBI, 9 stolen bases. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Jared Young. 3 home runs, 4 RBI, a 162 clip. Torrens is behind home plate and batting eighth. He has 1 home run, 13 RBI, a .227 average. Brett Beatty batting ninth and at third. He has 8 home runs, 24 RBI, a .208 average, and 3 stolen bases. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, Todd Titchener. Your first base umpire, Adam Hamari. Second base will be manned by James Jean. And down the third base line, it's John Tupain. Game time conditions at Citi Field in Queens, New York tonight, 83 degrees at first pitch, with the wind blowing out to left at about 10 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves are minus 140 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. Player props tonight, Spencer Schwellenbach, over-under strikeout margin, 5.5. Paul Blackburn, 3.5. Our pick to click tonight, give me Ronald Acuna Jr. Haven't picked him in a few days. And Acuna hit a solo shot to lead the game off against Blackburn in the first meeting last week. We'll take your Atlanta Braves to put a few on the board and to Schwellenbach to kick and deal to a 6-2 victory. Keys to the game tonight, Schwellenbach, well, if he delivers like he did last time out against the Mets, the Braves will put up that W. Schwellenbach, his first time against New York this season, he went 7 innings and giving up 2 runs. Both of them were home runs, but he did throw 8 punchies, and the Braves got the win. If he can go 7 again, look out. That shortens that bullpen quite a bit, but the Braves have got to put runs on the board, and they usually step up when they face the Mets. Put your click in the chat, slap that like, and let's get ready, Braves Country. We'd like to thank everybody for choosing Braves Country Radio, and a special thanks to all the Country Club members. Please like on your way in and subscribe, set those alerts, and share Braves Country Radio to help build the crowd so we can continue to bring you the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. Atlanta Braves Baseball right here on Braves Country Radio. Your modern-day superstation is in its 5th season of bringing you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves and our one-of-a-kind production. Take us anywhere you go for over 170 Atlanta Braves ball games. Please like and subscribe today. Join the Country Club. Thank you to all the Country Club members. You help support Braves Country Radio.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a good Monday night. And we're just about set for pitch-by-pitch. Play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Scroll back a few minutes. If you haven't said hi recently, jump on in. Good evening, Truth. Batman, Westbury. Tree Nug. Late. Iron Lung, good to see you. Noel Taylor. John, B Money. Gary. Horniak. What you talking about, Willis Mathis? Uncle Charlie. Jameson Taylor. PETA. Seen George Pearson. See if we got any more in here. I'm just going really quickly, so I might miss one or two. Razor Quack. Some of y'all change your nicknames more often than a hooker on Main Street. Who else do we have in here? Charlie Elrod. My man Nathaniel Brooks. Timmy Powell. Shooter, good to see you. Nathaniel Harlow. Brian Smith. Let's go ahead and hit that. Thank you, Peter, for your support. Billy Birdwell. Bam Bam. Daryl and his other brother, Daryl. Kyle. Good to see you. Travis Oswalt. I think we're coming to about the end. Edward Spry. Braden Quinn. That looks like just about it. We'll be back in a flash. If we missed you, jump in there. I'm scrolling pretty quickly as I try to read these off, and the screen's pretty far away from me. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. America's patriotic light lager, all natural ingredients. Stand tall, be proud. The perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. America's patriotic light lager, offering a crisp, clean, bold taste. Perfect beer to celebrate life, liberty, and your pursuit of the American dream. A beer with only 110 calories that tastes like a full-flavored beer and celebrates like freedom. Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. It helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Hey, Braves Country, Mac McGee here for American Rebel Beer. From the mountains to the prairies to your pint glass with white foam, we're bringing back beer with a backbone. All that matters in our brew is taste and a touch of American excellence. American Rebel Beer, born in the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the radio news.
Sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. There is nothing wrong. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both things and ideas. You've just crossed over into
Adventures in Time and Space.
We offer you Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another Braves ball game. Yes, sir. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball. No more measles and free tickets to the circus.
You're in Braves country.
This is a reminder, disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Good evening, Braves Country. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of those Atlanta Braves that love to tear our hearts out, but we're here thick and thin no matter what. I got a good feeling about tonight. Got a feeling about Schwellenbach. His over-under, I think, is 5.5. I think he's going to hit that. Y'all put your predictions with his emoji. How many Ks you think he's going to get? I'm going to go with 7. I think he got 8 last time versus the Mets. We'll go with 7. I hope that's what I hit with 7. I'm not 100% sure it's tapping. Anyways. Braves will be on offense first, and let me get the screen on for that. Do a couple of things here. And we shouldn't have any hiccups like we did during the Miami series as far as timing it up. Go ahead and smash that like and share. That's a big thing. We're trying to get people to share. As the Mets are wearing their black jerseys. Mets across the chest in blue. Outlined in orange. First pitch was set for 7:10, but they seem to be a step behind here. We're going to see if we can go ahead and bring in that 3D anyways. We're still waiting for it to load up, so could be a second. Braves are in their road grays, Atlanta across the chest, outlined in navy, same as the Tomahawks, piping down the middle, the same. of the jerseys piping on the sleeves. Numerals on the back in red outlined in navy and the names in navy. And Schwellenbach is rainbowed across the chest or across the back. You can barely get it onto the jersey. We're just about set. Remember, Acuna hit a home run against him. Blackburn to lead the game off last time. We'll see what's in store today. Blackburn comes set. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way. That's going to get dumped into right field. So it's not a home run, but it is a base hit. And Ronald Acuna Jr. and your Atlanta Braves doing business already. Let's get it, Braves country.
Bravo.
Good piece of hitting. Pitch on the outer cut.
Bravo.
And he was able to slice it into right field. Looked like the curve. Matt Olson will be the batter. First pitch on the way. Acuna goes, throws up the line, and he is safe. Ronald Acuna Jr. takes off, and he steals second base. How about that? So just like that, Acuna has got two bases. Righty-lefty now, back to the action. The pitch on the way to Matt Olson is down and in the dirt. Good block by Torrens. It's 1-1. 1-1 count, 0-0 your score, just getting going here in the top of the first inning. I don't think we hit the sound yet. Thank you, Iron Lung, with the good luck donation. Supporting the channel, always appreciated. The 1-1 misses, it's 2-1. So a 2-1 count. He's gone cutter, curve, cutter. Pitch on the way. Swing! That ball's hammered high and deep into center field, going back on the track. Making the catch on the run is the center fielder, Taylor, but that'll get Acuna down to third. Good piece of hitting by Olson. He almost got that thing out. One away. He took that all the way to the back of the wall. One of the deepest parts of the park. If it's a little to the right, that's probably leaving the stadium. Caught it just before the 380 mark. One on, one out. That'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. First pitch on the way to the Big Zoo is a slider outside wide. It's 1-0. The infield. They are playing back. So that's interesting. They are not. I'll go ahead and change the view so you can see anything on the base pass. They are not drawn in. The 1-0 swing sliced up the middle, but that is right to the second baseman, McNeil, and Acuna's in a rundown, and he's out. Quickly out. I'm not sure what he was trying to get done with that. He was trying to bait McNeil, but with the Ozuna running, he's not going to run very hard. You're never going to get Ozuna to third. And, of course, Acuna has the scare of any kind of sudden movements on the base paths, because that's what tore his ACL last year. He kind of went down the line, and he got way too far down the line. It was just bad base running by Acuna. First pitch on the way to Riley is a sinker off the plate, called for a wide strike one. It's 0-1. That was a wide strike. That pitch was 2 inches off the plate. Righty matchup, the 0-1 right there. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Ozuna now at first, so all that, the base hit and the stolen base wiped off the board by the bad base running at third. The 0-2, fastball misses high, 1-2. What you will see with Blackburn, he is a kitchen sink pitcher. He has 6 pitches, as does Schwellenbach, and he uses them all pretty regularly. The cutter 28, slider 23%, the sinker 19, curve and change at 16 and 11. The 4-seam is the show me pitch. And there's another show me is the 1-2 misses high, 2-2. He only throws that 4-seam at about 3% of the time. And from what I've seen, he throws that 4-seam majority of the time. It's to try to get you to chase up top. The 2-2 swung on, fouled down the line. We'll do it again. 2-2 count. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Riley trying to keep this inning going. The pitch, outside wide, full count. Torrance tried to get that call. That's almost the exact same spot that he called strike one. This time he gives it a ball. It's a little higher in the zone, but almost exactly the same spot. So a full count, which means Ozuna, who doesn't run well, will be on the move. The payoff, swing, lifts it high, but not very deep, pops it up. Lazy fly ball into left center field. Underneath it is Taylor, and that'll end the inning. So bad base running runs us out of the inning, and we'll be back in a flash. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. We go to the bottom of the first.
All right, so Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson, you know, the guy that plays the same character in every movie, decided to take it upon themselves to ask you for your money to donate to their fundraiser. These motherfuckers are worth millions, if not billions, but they're asking you for your money. Gas prices everywhere. Rent is crazy. We got a corrupt system.
Wait, why are we doing minute 30 per draft pick?
That's literally what we've always done.
I mean, personally, if it was up to me, Kamish, I would do 30 seconds per pick. But clearly some people didn't come prepared today. In the first round, reach, am I right? Like,
bro, that's where he's projected.
Who cares about where he's projected, bro? You're gonna let somebody tell you where to draft someone? Like,
what?
Are you a sheep?
Prior to the '88 draft, Tommy Lasorda tried to stir up some interest in a lightly regarded prospect who was a family friend.
I got 5 of my friends who were connected with baseball team to go out and see him play. And 5 of them called me back and said he can't do anything. So that's when I decided we'll draft him.
But even then, the Dodgers didn't take Mike Piazza until the 62nd round.
I think people were a little suspicious. They thought, Tommy's throwing a bone to a kid. He'll be here for a year, he'll be here for 2, and then he'll disappear.
All of a sudden, this rookie hits 35 homers, knocks in 112 runs, and bats .318.
And that was just the beginning. In 1997, Mike had the greatest season ever by a catcher.
You see where that ball was? Over his head. Look where it went. And check his bat. Check his forearms.
He became one of the most feared hitters in baseball.
In my opinion, the best offensive catcher to ever play the game. He was extremely strong in his form and wrist, and literally could flick the ball over the wall.
Another 3-run home run! Oh, did he tattoo that baseball?
Welcome back. Spencer Schwellenbach getting ready to rock. Stands on the bump as Francisco Lindor digs in. First pitch on the way is 96 on the outer black. Up top, it's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Lindor batting up with an .816 OPS. The 0-1, 97 misses wide, 1-0. What you'll see from Schwellenbach tonight is a 4-seam that he uses 36% of the time, a slider at 18%, and the splitter at 15%. The 1-1. Swing lifts it high and deep into center field, but Harris is underneath it. He'll make the catch, 1 away. He tosses that cutter at 12% and the curve 11, sinker 9. What he realistically does that doesn't show it in the numbers is any given game, he goes out there and he sees what's working for him, what he's controlling, what people may be chasing, and then he goes from there. So even though the percentages are pretty close. When he finds something, he'll lean on it. First pitch on the way to Brandon Nimmo is in the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0. 97 right down the pipe. 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Bottom of the first. The pitch. 98-mile-an-hour fastball inside. 2-1. Braves and Mets, this is a 4-game series, all here in New York. The 2-1 swing, chops it over towards first. Olsen has it. He'll step on the pillow. 2 away. Spencer Schwellenbach, 6'1", 200-pounder, 25-year-old out of Saginaw, Michigan. I think there's a pretty good country song named after that town. Played his college ball at Nebraska. First pitch on the way to Juan Soto. He was taking all the way. 97 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. Not sure what that was about. He was taking all the way. He stepped out of the box, and then he gave a smile to the umpire, the 0-1. 97 just misses down below the knees. That was extremely close. Top part of the ball did touch the zone, but the 1-1, 95, didn't give him that one either. That was a sinker, and it touched the top of the bottom of the zone. So he's not giving anything down low. 2-1 count, 96, outer black. Got that call, it's 2-2. Nobody on, a 2-2 count. Remember, against Schwellenbach in the first game, he hit a home run. His first at bat, that pitch goes down and in, 3-2. So you got a full count now. Pete Alonso standing on deck. Infield back and to the right. The payoff. Swing pops it up. It should stay in play. It does. Eli calls everybody off and catches it in very shallow left field. That'll end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the second, looking for some runs.
All y'all finna go to jail today.
What happened to y'all?
All them finna go to damn jail.
What happened?
All them finna go to jail. I bet you that. They jumped on. They jumped on me. They jumped on me, man.
Let my window.
All them finna go to jail. I'm finna press charges.
For what? What happened?
For John Mary that damn word.
Look like you been crying.
No, I ain't been damn crying. No, I'm running my mouth. This one right here with the red shirt on.
That big dude.
Yeah, we went to damn break when he want to talk big. He tired of doing everybody. He tired of doing everybody work. He tired of coming to work. Everybody coming to work. Now he got to do their work. And he looking at me the whole time. So I was like, bro.
But you do be like,
bro, no, I said, bro, if you got a problem with me, tell me.
So you
he
let
got
him
on
swing
me
first.
He bounced me up. He bounced me around like 3-4 times, threw me against the wall. That's all he did.
Oh, come on,
that's all he did. But I bet he lost some hair though. I'm big man, but he got on me. They said they might have the damn catastrophe, whatever you call it. It'll take it off. Catastrophe, indicated. I don't know. I feel constipated.
Yes, it was a battle. One of them was going to win it. Who is going to go down to the end?
Don Mattingly and Dave Winfield entered the final day of the regular season with the American League batting title at stake. Yankee manager Yogi Berra wouldn't say which of his stars would win.
Both of them. I wish they'd break even today.
The last day, Donnie was up there, and it's just like his mind was set. He was going to get hits no matter what. No matter where he threw the ball, it seemed like. I said, you just throw it where he can reach it, he's going to hit it.
And that's exactly what he did. Trailing Winfield by 2 points on the final day of the season, Mattingly went 4 for 5 and won the AL batting title in just his first full season in the majors.
That's got to be a base hit, and he wins the batting crown.
Numbers say Mattingly 343, Winfield 340.
No way I was going to be a loser today, or Dave was going to be a loser today. Both had great seasons. To be separated by that minute amount of points is, I don't think there's a loser today.
The fans in New York just fell in love with it.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. Ozzie Albies batting all the way up to the 5th spot. And the first pitch is a slider, a hanging slider. It's 0-1. He had a good game against Blackburn, he hit a double and a triple, and that may factor into it. The 0-1. Inside, that got him in the arm. That's probably the best thing that can happen for most of our batters is get hit by pitch. He appears to be okay. I don't want him getting injured. But he'll head on down to first. Way to take one for the team, Ozzie. He'll head on down to first. And the Braves have another leadoff base runner. Just clipped the side of his arm, but it got him right in the pad up top. 3 more of those wing score run. Sean Murphy, the batter. The infield defense for the New York Mets looks like this tonight. Torrens is behind home plate. Alvarez getting the night off. His first pitch to Smurf is a sinker off the edge. It's 1-0. Around the infield, around the horn from third to first, it's Beatty, Lindor at short, McNeil at second, and Alonso at first. Left to right in your outfield for New York, it's Nimmo, Taylor, and Soto. 1-0. Runner goes, and the ball comes out of the hands of Torrens, and that's going to be an easy steal for Ozzie Albies. They must really like the way, they must really see something on Blackburn, because they did not run this much on him in the first meeting. So they've picked up on something. Already was 2 stolen bases on Blackburn. Righty-righty matchup, the 2-0 misses high, 3-0. I think that's a huge stolen base because when you have Sean Murphy at the plate, he has a tendency to pull the ball hard right on the ground, and that's a double play waiting to happen if it doesn't get through the hole. So a 3-0 to Smurf. Brings it. Just grabs the outer edge, 3-1. That cutter might have just touched the zone. Should be noted, all 4 of the pitches have been outside. So Blackburn trying to stay from the inside swing of Murphy so far. The 3-0, or 3-1, excuse me. Blackburn will step off the bump, and Ozzie walks back to second. Go ahead and pull the camera back so you can get a good look at what's going on. Infield back into the left. The 3-1. Swing! That ball sliced to right field. That's going to get down. Ozzie goes second to third. He had to hold up because the ball hung up there for a while, but it was a base hit by the Smurf to get runners on the corners and nobody out.
Smurf is me. I must call an emergency meeting.
Don't try to fool me.
Ozzie held up on that ball as it was drifting into right field. I mean, I could tell from it by the way it was slicing it was going to fall, but that's a tough read from a guy standing at second. Michael Harris is second, the batter, first pitch. Swings at a pitch. We'll call it 6 inches off the plate. Fouls it away. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Man, they were having a field day today on X, talking about all the different, basically really bad numbers that the bottom half of the order have. And Harris was being attacked. This is the 0-1 swing and a miss, 0-2. And rightfully so. He's had a terrible offensive year. And for some reason, they moved him up to the number 7 hole. They're so obsessed with getting the righty-lefty down the line. The 0-2 to Harris. Swing, rips it into right field. Is that going to fall? Nope, it is caught by Soto. He comes up firing. And Ozzie will come home to score. And the Braves have drawn first blood. It's 1-0. Good fly ball out there. And because Soto had to slide for it, he had no chance.
They know about that.
God bless you, Mike. Keep your game tight.
Never know. You know what I'm saying? I got a little razzle dazzle.
So F9 in your scorecard, but it is a sac fly, RBI. Sean Murphy stayed put. He was about halfway between first and second when that ball was in flight. First pitch on the way to Eli is what? All right. Curveball well inside the zone. It's 1-0. Wow. That was a bad call. The 1-0. Swing. Pops it up. Down the first base side near the camera well. It'll bend into the seats. 1-1. One count. I mean, we'll take whatever we can get because we get screwed by a lot of bad calls. But when they're that bad, I have to call them out even if they're against us. That was just ridiculous. 1-1. 93, sinker at the knees, 1-2. Infield sitting in double play depth. Murphy, very slow runner at first, but it's the back end that is usually the problem on turning the double play. Eli with still very good speed. The 1-2, swing, chops it. Slow roller over to third, but it'll kick foul. We'll do it again. Standing on deck is Nick Allen, so if nothing else, if Eli can find a way to not hit into a double bagger, we can clear the number 9 hitter. And that's really become the theme of this offense. It's the top part of the offense that does the business, and the bottom part, we're just trying not to get multiple outs. The 1-2 just misses off the edge, 2-2. It was out of the zone, but it was close enough that he got rung up. I'd say Eli's got to swing at that. It's too close. I mean, it would have been a good makeup pitch for that initial ball. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, didn't matter. 93 blew it right by him. 2 away. 2 down. We are just 9 days away from Jurickson Profar playing left field. I think what's probably going to happen is with the lineup you see tonight will be pretty similar. They'll put Profar in the 2 position and slide everybody down a slot. Nick Allen, the batter, first pitch on the way is a slider. Right there, first strike, it's 0-1. They cannot send Stuart Fairchild down, Razor Crack. I see you talking about they're going to have to DFA him. The 0-1. Swing, chops it down the line. It's 0-2. Don't be totally shocked if it ends up being someone you're not thinking, like a Luke Williams, which is doubtful. But you could see them kicking Alex Verdugo down because he doesn't bring anything defensively. And you're gaining a left-handed bat with Profar coming up. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. If Verdugo can figure out how to play shortstop, he might have a chance. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
We are all familiar with MLB team logos, but did you know there is more to some of them than meets the eye? The Brewers blue and yellow glove contains the M for Milwaukee in the webbing of the mitt and the B for Brewers in the palm and thumb. One of my favorites is the Expos because it has so many meanings. First, it's a giant cursive M for Montreal. Then it's ELB for Expos League Baseball. Most people know that the Padres logo contains the S and the D for San Diego, but did you also know the 2 letters combine to form the P in Padres in the middle? How many of you noticed that the Twins logo underlines the word win in Twins? The mystery behind the Orioles logo is the cartoon bird's mouth. Is it open or closed? The Arizona Diamondback logo contains the head of a snake inside the A, which you can easily miss if you aren't looking for it. The Mets logo contains the skyline of New York with the Empire State Building in the center. But did you know that the color scheme was chosen as an allegiance to the teams that played in New York prior to heading out west? Orange for the Giants and blue for the Dodgers.
Gold Glove awards for catchers are often based on their arms, and Ivan Rodriguez has 13 of them.
Got a force-like pudge behind the plate that's invaluable because your pitching staff basically doesn't have to worry about anybody stealing a base.
Pudge Rodriguez's arm, by far, was one of the best I've ever seen, and he basically just shut down the running game on other teams.
There he goes. Rodriguez in plenty of time.
He just made you very uneasy on every base that you were on. He could pick you off if you gave him an opportunity.
Pudge also has more hits, doubles, extra base hits, total bases, and runs scored than any catcher in history.
It's a triple for Pudge Rodriguez.
He stayed inside the baseball very well. He could drive the ball to right field.
Has a chance to be fair, and it is.
He could hit the ball down the left field line just as easy, and he could hit it over the wall just as easy.
Out of here. Home run, Pudge Rodriguez.
He was an aggressive hitter with power. It was a very rare combination to have a guy that was that good defensively and an offensive force.
A 3-run bomb, and the man that carried this team on his back has done it again.
Welcome back. Spencer Schwellenbach. First pitch to Pete Alonso's a four-seam fastball. That ball damn near bring rain if there were any clouds in the sky. Into deep right field, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is underneath it. One down, one pitch, one out. You gotta love that. As we begin the bottom of the second inning, Braves lead at 1-0. You know who's pitching for the New York Yankees tonight as a starter? Our old friend Alan Winans. Remember him? I think you almost have to take the over. First pitch on the way is a four-seam fastball inside. It's 1-0. They're not only are they pitching him tonight, but he's in Cincinnati where that ball flies. The 1-0. Chops it off his foot. I think McNeil goes down. See if he's going to be all right. Murphy is offering a hand. I don't know if he wanted to get up yet. He just gave the thumbs up to the dugout, so he must be okay. Ball misses kneecap. It was above, right up on the thigh. He's taking a second to rub some dirt on it, and his home plate umpire, Todd Titchener, buys him some time. Just missed the knee. Say an inch or two above. 1-1 count, righty-lefty matchup. Schwellenbach still without a strikeout tonight, the pitch. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky, Allen underneath it. 2 away. No strikeouts, but he's at 17 pitches to start the game. That's pretty economical. We'll take that over strikeouts any day of the week. It's getting a lot of high pop-ups. Tyrone Taylor, our old nemesis, stands at the plate. First pitch, 97 right down the pipe. It's 0-1. This guy finds a way to hit well against the Braves. He's only batting .232 on the season. The 0-1 swing, chops it over towards third. Riley's got it with ease and flips it over to first. So Spencer Schwellenbach gets out the first 2 innings, not only with zeros on the board, but in 18 pitches. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Oh. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
An enzyme? I don't know.
You can't hear an enzyme.
What do you mean you can't hear an enzyme? So you can't hear an enzyme, but you can hear a hormone? Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac McGee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
This one time, a boyfriend cheated on me, and I broke up with him on our way home. And while we were driving, he got so mad at me that he took my glasses off my face and threw them out the window. Was just like, all right, if you don't want to see me, then you don't need to see anyone. Good luck finding someone better, and also your way home. You, John.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by
The best things in life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
The Cubs' pitching mainstay was an Indiana farm boy, Mordecai Peter Centennial Brown, better known as Three-Finger Brown, because of a boyhood accident with a feed cutter that destroyed most of his right index finger, paralyzed his little finger, and gave him a devastating curveball. Brown won 20 or more games, 6 years in a row.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way as we flip the order over once again. Ronald Acuna Jr. takes the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup. 1-1. Acuna slapped a single to first his first time up that stole second. He was caught in a rundown from third to home on a bad base running blunder in the top of the first. The 1-1, 93 hit, misses high, 2-1. He did hit a home run against Blackburn to start the game off last week in Atlanta. Memory serves, I believe it was the first pitch. The 2-1, swing, lifts it, high and deep into center field, going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a solo shot, and Ronald Acuna Jr. does it again.
Bravo.
His 9th home run of the year.
Bravo.
16th RBI.
Bravo.
419 feet, 110 miles an hour off the bat. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is down and off the plate, but if they said he went around, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Maybe if we could just get the rest of the league to wear Mets uniforms when we play them. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. The offense it's much better when they see that Met uniform. The 0-2 count. Righty lefty. Olson 0 for 1 on the day. That click-clack, by the way, the 0-2. Swing, laces it into right field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Here comes Matt Olson flying around first, heading for second. And it's a double with nobody out to keep it going here in the third.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House. Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
They went down in the zone, and Matt Olson went down and got it, lifted it over the head of Pete Alonso, and he's standing in scoring position at second. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a sinker. Down and in, it's 1-0. When Ozuna last came up, he grounded into the fielder choice that was getting Acuna in the rundown, but it was a hard-hit ball up the middle. The 1-0. Down and away. Did he go around? Check down the line to first base umpire Adam Hamari. They said he did not. 2-0. Seen a couple of umpires we haven't seen. Adam Hamari and James Jean. They'll be Tuesday and Wednesday night's home plate umpires. The 2-0 off the plate. 3-0. John Trupane. We have not seen him in a while behind the plate. Todd Titchener we have, and from the rankings, now because I haven't seen the other two, I don't have any notes, but from the rankings, Titchener's appears to be the lowest rated one. The 3-0. Outside wide ball 4. That pitch was well off the plate. So he'll head on down to first, and we'll keep the line moving. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Austin Riley coming up. They're going to have a quick chat out there on the mound. That's the pitching coach, Jeremy Hefner, out there to talk to Blackburn and the rest of the crew. We'll go ahead and pull the screen back so if anything happens on the base paths, you can see it up front. So first and second, nobody out. Austin Riley, the batter. First pitch on the way. Ball goes all the way to the backstop, and that's going to be a base apiece as Olsen moves to third and Ozuna moves up to second. Happy 1 month anniversary, Stargazer. So 1-0 count, runners at second and third. Pitch, down and away, 2-0. You know the biggest thing I see in the difference between the Mets and the Braves with their defense? The Braves, because we don't score runs regularly, we would have our infield in right now. The Mets are willing to give up and out for a run to keep the crooked number down. The 2-0s, hanging slider. Man, that's normally one if Austin Riley is in the groove that he hammers. Not saying one's better than the other, but it just tells you the different mentality. The 2-1 count, outside wide, 3-1. He was getting a couple of those calls early, but he's been all over the zone, and that even with the umpire with the loosest zone possible, he's going to start pinching you and not giving you those big outside calls if you're not being accurate. The 3-1, swing and a miss, chased a slider well off the plate, chased ball 4, and now it's a full count. If you're Blackburn, do you go back to that, hoping he swings himself out of the at-bat, or do you try to hit the zone with something, not wanting to load him up? The payoff pitch, inside ball 4. Went with the four-seamer and tried to freeze him up, and it worked, but the pitch wasn't accurate, and we've got the bases loaded now. Ducks all over the pond. Ozzie Albies coming to the plate. The infield is back and to the right, playing double play depth. Bases juice, the first pitch. Swing and a miss, came out of his shoes. Change up, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Thank you, Iron Lung. Righty lefty, the 0-1, chopped foul down the first base line. Quickly 0-2. Might have chased that curveball down. If you're Blackburn, you're probably going to try to go down there again sometime in this at-bat. If he's going to chase down, why not? The 0-2, swing, pops it up. Can of corn into short. Lindor has it with these, one down. That was a bad at bat by Ozzie Albies. He chased 2 curveballs well out of the zone and did not at least get Olsen home on a fly ball. And a guy who's been struggling to hit the zone, you got to make him pitch. He should have been up there with the idea that I'm not swinging until I get maybe even 2 strikes on him, as bad as he was pitching right before that at bat. First pitch on the way, 93 up top, it's 1-0. Now you've got the danger of the double play with Sean Murphy on the base paths. Hopefully he can lift one over the infield defense and get at least 1 run home. The 1-0, swing, chops it down the first base line, it's 1-1. They're starting to offer at that slider off the plate to the right-handers. 1-1 count. That's the pitch he really wants you to try to swing at as he sets you up with the cutter. The 1-1. Inside, sinker. 2-1. 2-1 count. Braves lead it 2-0, but you feel like you got to get a lot more. These golden opportunities, they don't come every inning. The 2-1 misses inside. Ball 3-1. That one was a sinker that was about 3-4 inches off the plate. 3-1 count. Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch, swing, lifts it into left field. That ball's going to be caught, and that should bring Olsen home. It will, and it's 3-0. Your Atlanta Braves. So a good at bat by Sean Murphy there to get the fly ball, sac fly. And the Braves put a 3 spot.
I must call an emergency meeting.
Don't try to fool me.
Sean Murphy, sac fly, 22nd RBI of the year, and Michael Harris comes to the dish. Righty lefty, first pitch of the Hawk. He's swinging, hammers it over to first, and that'll be it in the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Harris once again. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. They got to teach the guy to bunt. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so you guys keep asking me, what was it about my wife that attracted me the most? I fell in love the moment she told me that she was bi.
I'm bi. You wrong. I never said that to you.
Of course, I found out later she meant polar. But, oh, it's a condition! It's a condition!
Number 2.
Lawrence Peter Barra, known to everyone as Yogi.
Yogi was quite a character off the field, and he wasn't much different behind the plate.
He'd ask you how you doing. Did you go to the movie last night or whatever? He loved Ted Williams.
Oh, yeah, he made Ted Williams mad. Would you shut up, Yogi? I want to concentrate. But he tried to talk to everybody.
Best remembered today for his wits and wisdom, Barra was one of the best to ever play the game, a model of durability.
He caught so many ball games every season. There were day games after night games routinely. He caught double headers.
What more could you ask for in Yogi Berra, the Yanks' indestructible catcher?
A 3-time MVP, Yogi was quite a hitter. Pitchers simply couldn't get the ball by him.
And Yogi slams the ball into the right field stands.
I can't imagine anybody swinging at some of the pitches that he swung at. He hit him right on the button.
A ball could be on the ground. The ball could be 2 feet over his head, foot off the plate, way inside.
A lot of people ask me, how come he hit so many bats? To me, they look good.
And it's another homer over the right center wall. It's 10 runs batted in for Yogi.
It's not just the number of home runs, RBIs, and his batting average. What was really important was the fact that he was the catcher on so many pennant-winning teams and World Series-winning teams.
And the Yankees are champions. And look at Barrow. Piggyback riding Bob Cazala.
He played in 14 World Series out of 17 years. And then the next year, he managed the Yankees and got them to a World Series again.
With a ring for every finger, Yogi is the game's winningest player.
Why would anyone do drugs when they could just mow a lawn?
Welcome back. Spencer Schwellenbach fires the first pitch in there for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Jared Young, the designated hitter, takes a slider inside. 1-1. 3-0 your score. The Braves lead it. 1-1 to the left-hander. Curved ball, smacks the inner edge. 1-2. 1-2 count. Braves 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The 1-2. Swing, chops it foul. Do it again. Young batting 162 on the season in a platoon role. He does have 3 home runs and a 657 OPS. 1-2. 98 outside wide. 2-2. 2-2 count. Brings it. Swing and a miss. Strike three. His first strikeout of the day, of the evening, one away. Good pitch. Chased the off speed. That thing just fell off the table as it went by. First pitch on the way is swung on and chopped foul by Terens. Oh and 1. Batting .227 on the year. The 0-1. Chopper right back to the mound. That'll be an easy play for Schwellenbach. He'll toss it to Olsen. And 2 up, 2 down. Two up, 2 down. Brett Beatty, your batter. The number 9 hitter, batting .208, 8 home runs, 24 RBI. First pitch. Well off the plate, curveball. 1-0. 1-0. Misses. Down and in, 2-0. 2-0 count. Swing, that ball's hammered through the middle, and that'll be the first base hit for the New York Mets. It's a 2-out single, and that'll bring the top of the order and Francisco Lindor to the plate. 111 miles an hour off the bat. He smoked that ball. Shot it right behind Schwellenbach. He tried to stick his glove up, but didn't have enough time. That ball was sizzled. First pitch on the way to Francisco Lindor is a four-seam fastball. It hit the zone, but a bad call by home plate umpire Todd Titchener. Once again, it's 1-0. 1-0 righty-lefty matchup. They set up down the middle. The pitch, swing, rips that into center field. Now they got runners on first and second and 2 outs. So just like that, the Mets will bring the tying run to the plate. So if you're not familiar with Fangraph's F-War, it's their version of WAR, wins above replacement. And basically it's saying the same thing that WAR does, but it's their way of calculating it. So any way you look at it, it's a legitimate argument when they put the F-War number up, because it's very similar to WAR. First pitch on the way to Nemo is a cutter high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. And they were talking about this earlier today of where our position ranks in Major League Baseball, where it's ranked and what the F-WAR is, right? Is the 1-0. Curveball well off the plate, 2-0. Cannot start nibbling here because Juan Soto stands on deck. 2-0 count with the catchers, and they do implement defense with this as well as the 2-0. Just grabs the outer edge. 2-1. But it's primarily an offensive tool that they use. The catchers, we rank 3rd in all of Major League Baseball, and we're combining both Smurf and Drake. The 2-1. Splitter in the dirt. 3-1. So now dancing with danger. He's got a 3-1 count, 2 outs. And Soto stands on deck. The 3-1 swing, fouls it back, full count. So we're 3rd in all of Major League Baseball with that. We are tied for first in all of Major League Baseball. Matt Olson's tied with the Dodgers, Alonso, and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay uses more of a platoon system. The payoff pitch, swing, fists it, High. It's going foul. Can Riley make the catch? He makes us incredible sliding catch, and that'll end the inning. Great play by Austin Riley. Holy cow. We head to break, leading 3-0.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Have you ever thought to yourself, this guy won an MVP? I didn't know he won an MVP. Zoilo Versales. He led the league in several offensive categories in 1965, including runs, doubles, triples, and total bases. He was a big reason the Twins won over 100 games that season. He was very reliable and someone the Twins could count on that season. How do I know that? Because he led the league in plate appearances and at-bats that season and only missed 2 games. His .273 batting average at the end of the season is the 3rd lowest by any American League MVP. He received 19 of the 20 first-place votes, besting out his teammate Tony Oliva. When you compare them both that season, Versales had more runs, home runs, and stolen bases. His 7.2 WAR that season was second only to Sam McDowell. The MVP wasn't his only accomplishment that year. He also made the All-Star team and won a Gold Glove. Although he had a great season, he didn't come without some struggles. 2 other categories he led the league in were strikeouts and errors. Aside from triples and home runs, he set career highs in every other offensive category that season. In the World Series that season, he started all 7 games, hit .286 with 1 home run and 4 RBIs. I never knew he won an MVP.
I did it in spring of '85. You know, I'm working out in the winter, doing my leg stuff, and I felt something in my knee. But I remember going to spring, and I'm like rehabbing, and that's when they're shooting this post. They want to shoot this poster, and Mr. Steinbrenner's walking through there, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst nightmare. I'm still a young puppy, right? And I'm doing a poster, and I am hurt, and it's Mr. Steinbrenner. I'm like, oh, this is not good, right? That's what I think about when I think about that poster.
What kind of numbers would you consider a good season for Don Mattingly in '85?
Well, every year I always said I'd like to hit 300, I'd like to drive in 100 runs, and I'd like to get 200 hits. I just want to do the things that I expect of myself. And I set high standards for myself, what things I want to do. You know, actually, I don't try to please Mr. Steinbrenner. I don't try to please the fans. I try to play to the best of my ability, and if I can do that, I know I'm going to be happy, and I think everybody else will be too.
I'll never forget my granddad's last words to me before he died.
What were they, Granny?
Are you still holding the ladder?
Welcome back. What an incredible catch. Sliding catch by Austin Riley. As the first pitch on the way to Eli White, who's off the plate wide. It's 1-0. He really is the definition of eating onions and spotting dimes. He'll make incredible plays like that routinely, and then we'll just have a bobbled error that will drive you nuts. The 1-0, swing and a miss inside 1-1. So 1-1 count. Eli White struck out his first time up. 91-mile-an-hour four-seamer. Misses 2-1. Back to those rankings. So first base, we're tied for first. Matt Olson is tied with Freddie Freeman. Pete Alonso, no matter what people tell you. The 2-1. Down and away, 3-1. We're third at the catcher. Now you go to second base. We're tied for 23rd, so 24th with the Chicago White Sox. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase the slider off the plate. 1 down. At third base, we are right in the middle of the pack, 13th. And that's because of all the errors that Austin Riley has collected this year. At shortstop, we are 24th, and it's only that high because of Nick Allen's superior defense. As Allen stands at the plate, first pitch on the way is a slider down and away. It's 1-0. If he just had average defense, Nick Allen would be dead last, according to the F4 stats. The 1-0, down and away, 2-0. In left field, we are 29th. Remember, that's out of 30. With a negative 1.4 WAR. In center field is the 2-0. Right down the pipe for a strike, 2-1. In left field, you can almost understand it because you didn't spend any money over there that's being used. The money you spent in left field, Jerks and Profar, is has only played a few games. The 2-1. Chops it over to third. This is going to be like a rolling bunt. Here comes the throw, and it is wide of the base. And Nick Allen goes flying around first, heading to second. And it essentially, I would say that what that's going to be is a infield single and then an E5 on Beatty. So good job of hustling down the line by Nick Allen.
Hitting, not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity V in relation to the trajectory T, in which G, gravity, of course, remains a constant.
Beatty really had no chance there. Airmailed it over Alonso's head. That brings Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. Inside, 91 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Back to those rankings. Center field, we are 27th. You think about the money they're spending in center field. With the negative 0.1 WAR. And he has incredible defense. If it wasn't for that, we'd be dead last there. Blackburn turns and fires it over to second. There's nobody there, but McNeil catches it on the fly before it hits the outfield, well behind second base. And in right field, we're sixth at 2.5. That's only because Acuna was gone for so long. The 0-1, inside 1-1. If Acuna had been there since day one and putting up the kind of numbers he's been putting up, we'd be at first. One count. I mean, you think of some of the days that we had in right field before he showed back up. It was Stuart Fairchild out there, Eli White. The 1-1. Just grabs the edge, slider. Good, very good pitch by Blackburn. One of his better ones of the day. It's 1-2. 1-2 count. Man, Blackburn's got one of those woolly mammoth beards. I don't know how he's doing that in the June heat. I mean, I can understand rocking that sucker in the winter, but man, unless that's where he's hiding some kind of slippery stuff to put on the ball. The 1-2, swing, chops it foul. Got the sinker just enough to stay alive. We'll do it again. We'll move the screen back for you in case we get a play at the plate or whatnot. Nick Allen with very good speed standing out there at second base. One down. Matt Olson stands on deck. Braves lead at 3-0 if you're just joining us. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Chased a cutter well off the plate. 2 down. Scoring got started early in the second inning. Braves have had traffic on the base paths every single inning. First inning, Acuna got to third and then got caught in a rundown. It never should have happened, but we had traffic down there. Second inning, Michael Harris hit a sac fly to score Ozzie, and then in the third inning, as the first pitch on the way to Olson, pops it up. Can of corn. What a bad at bat that was. One pitch, one out. We'll be back in a flash, but the Braves lead it 3-0. We go to the bottom of the fourth.
I'm not a Fairweather fan who bails on their teams. You were born here. This is your curse. Suck it up. Join the party, the worst party in the history of mankind. But you're in the party. You're on the invite list. You can't get out. You can't get out. No, have you ever heard the song Hotel California? Because there's a line where it's like, you can't ever leave. You are a fan. You don't have a choice. You can't say, oh, the Yankees are good. Nope. The Yankees are dead to all of us. We have to continue to cheer for a team that spends $90 million when others are spending $350 million. We're done. We're done.
Johnny Bench. Possessed with an intimidating throwing arm, no one was better behind the plate than this two-time MVP. And he changed the very nature of the game.
John Bench revolutionized the game two ways. Number one, he really became the first prominent catcher to catch one-handed and not two-handed. Number two, his footwork. I had never seen catchers' feet move so quickly when they would explode out of the box and throw down to second base.
There we go. Bench's throw right on the money. Look at that kid throw.
In
the key was his ability to throw would-be base stealers out.
It's the nearest thing to suicide to run on the kid from Oklahoma.
And then there was his bat. The 14-time All-Star hit 389 home runs and finished with almost 1,400 RBIs.
It was enough as a defensive catcher what he did for the team, but it was like an added bonus to have a guy like Johnny Bench in the middle of your lineup being an integral part of the Big Red Machine.
With Bench behind the plate, the Reds won 4 pennants and captured 2 World Series titles.
Bench was the glue that kept that team together.
Very smart, kept everybody in line, so the manager, Sparky Anderson, really didn't have to do much in the way of discipline.
Not everyone thinks Cleopatra was beautiful. And that's what Julius Caesar.
Spencer Schwellenbach goes back to work. First pitch on the way is hammered into right, but running over, making the catch is Ronald Acuna Jr. for a quick out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Schwellenbach here in the bottom of the 4th. Starts the inning off at 38 pitches. That was 39. Just has the 1 strikeout, but other than last inning, he's pitched a clean baseball game. Back to the heart of the order again, Pete Alonso, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the highest one he's registered so far. It's 0-1. Alonso flew out his first time up the 0-1, slices it over to first, and Olsen has it, flips it. Schwelly steps on the bag, 2 down. What's happening is what I was hoping was going to happen. The Mets had a very intense series with Philadelphia this week, and they were fighting for first place. And then the final game was a Sunday night game. And so, and we've seen this a lot of times with the Braves, even though you come back home, you're exhausted and you're not quite as crisp, and that's what it looks like right now with the Mets. Is the first pitch on the way to McNeil is right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Not taking anything away from Schwellenbach. He hasn't had swing and miss stuff tonight. The 0-1, hammered down the line, 0-2. So maybe we're getting their bats. And I didn't dig into how long, what happened with their flight last night and all that kind of stuff as the 0-2s dragged down the line. But you got to figure best case scenario, they got back to New York around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then you come home and probably didn't get to sleep till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning in all likelihood. There's the Braves that ended their game around 4:30 and flew out. The 0-2 in the dirt, backhanded by Smurf, 1-2. 1-2 count. And we will avoid David Peterson, who pitched the best against the Braves. Is the 1-2 swing, chops it back behind the plate, and do it again. He pitched very well against the Braves last week, and he pitched last night, so he will not be pitching for the Mets until next weekend, or this coming weekend. One-two count. 97 misses high, 2-2. The 2-2. Schwellenbach sitting at 47. Pitch hammered over towards second. Ozzy's got it. Fires it to first and gets McNeil by about a half step. Good hustle by Ozzy. That ball took a weird spin, and he was able to stay with it. We'll be back in a flash. Braves grab the bats, leading by 3.
Hey, Mom, what's the difference between a light bulb and a pregnant woman?
What, Jesse?
You can unscrew a light bulb.
So you telling me that I gotta come home from work and do work so that way I'm capable of doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing at work? Y'all killing me, man.
Did you know that hypertension and heart disease kill more blacks than anything else in America?
I didn't know that. I thought it was the police.
The men we've chosen as our top 9 righties had to have pitched more than half of their career in the modern era since 1901.
8 strikeouts for Tom Seaver.
The very best right-handed starters for more than a century of baseball. So here they are, beginning with number 9. There are few pitchers in the history of the game who evoke the kind of fear in hitters that Bob Gibson did.
I can honestly say he is the most competitive pitcher I ever met. It was his mound, it was his game.
I love the fire in his eyes. You could see it even in the old television.
And that fire burned brightest in the 60s, the apex of Gibby's 17-year career as a Cardinal.
He wanted to beat you, and he would do just about anything he could do.
He had that smooth motion, and everything a good pitcher possessed, he had it. There was always that mystique by Bob.
And in 1968, the year of the pitcher, Gibson made the loudest statement.
He became the most difficult pitcher to score on in the history of baseball with a 1.12 ERA.
He was a machine. 1.12 ERA. That's silly.
13 shutouts on the year.
And then when it got to the World Series, he strikes out 17 Tigers in one of the most intimidating performances you'll ever see.
Bob completed 8 of 9 World Series starts and finished what he began 255 times in his career. Come 1974, the man they called Hoot became the first National League pitcher and just the second ever to strike out 3,000 batters.
Welcome back. Marcell Ozuna leads us off. First pitch on the way is a good sinker off the edge from Blackburn. His 75th pitch of the night. It's 0-1. Infield is back into the left. Righty-righty matchup. Ozzie on deck. 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. Braves need to tack some more runs on. We just can't assume that these 3 are going to be enough. I'd like to see him take advantage while Blackburn's still in the game. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. 1-2 count. Cincinnati Reds have tied up the Yankees, and they're in the bottom of the 4th, 1-1. Ellie De La Cruz with an RBI triple. 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. He missed pay dirt by about 2 inches. That's Alan Winans in there pitching for him. Saw he was pitching for the Yankees. Like, how did that happen? Because they've got a good pitching staff. Like, how did in the world? The 2-2. Outside wide, full count. They had the injury to Cole, but thank you, Shooter. Appreciate the support. Payoff pitch. Swing pops it up. High in the sky. That'll bend out of play. We'll do it again. Just got stuck in the air there on the 3-2, didn't it? Full count. Top of the 5th inning. Blackburn, by the way, just hit the 80th pitch mark. The payoff from Blackburn. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Changeup, chased it off the plate. Good pitch by Blackburn. Tough pitch. That's hard to hold up with on 2 strikes. 1 away. 1 down. Matt Olson will come to the dish. The Ice House is 1 for 3 with the run scored. First pitch on the way. I'm sorry. I got it backwards in my head. Austin Riley to the plate. Austin Riley, who's 0 for 1 and a walk. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. That's another reason why I wish they would keep the lineup the same. This messes me up every night coming in here trying to figure out. It's almost like they just throw darts at the wall and go, tonight, Mike, you're going to hit 7th. Ozzie, we'll put you 5th. Why not? The 1-1, swing, lifts it high and deep into center. Is it going to hold? Going back on the track. That is going to get off the wall and get down where the green grass grows. Austin Riley is still running. He's heading for third, and Austin Riley's got a one-out triple. Let's get it, Braves country!
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Tyrone Taylor extended up against the wall like Spider-Man, but missed the ball. As it just got past his glove, it faded behind his head. And he hit the ground, and by the time they corralled the ball, Riley had made it all the way around to third. If that was someone with Harris, Eli, maybe Acuna, I don't know what the injury, with their type of speed, it would have been inside the Parker. They probably wouldn't have sent Acuna. First pitch on the way to Ozzie. It's a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Even Ozzie as well. Ozzie's got good speed. I would say Nick Allen, but he's never going to hit the ball that far. So I kind of laugh at myself that I actually have a home run clip for Nick Allen. The 0-1. Swing. Fouls it away. It's 0-2. The infield is in now. Riley at third and only one out. The 0-2 to Ozzie. Blackburn steps off the rubber for a second. He's at 86 pitches. The 0-2. High and inside, forcing fastball 1-2. Standing on deck is Smurf. They've got a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. So they're not setting up any kind of lefty situation. So when they think he's cooked, they're going to go get him. This may be his last batter. The 1-2. Swing, pops it up. Good Lord, can of corn. That's starting to become his nickname. Popped up in the infield. 2 down. Lindor with the catch. Two down, and Sean Murphy will have to get a base hit or some kind of an error to get Austin Riley home. Riley at third, the infield now back with 2 outs. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch on the way. 93, sinker off the edge. Called for a wide, strike 1, 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, chops it off his foot, it's 0-2. 0-2 count. Definitely the end of the road for Blackburn. He won't be out there for the 6th inning no matter what. They're trying to squeeze as much as they can get out of him because the bullpen was taken to task this weekend against the Phillies. The 0-2. High and out of the zone, 1-2. Frankie Montas is going to make the season debut for the Mets tomorrow. He'll be going up against Spencer Strider. The 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. Good at bat by Sean Murphy so far. He's running that pitch count up, if nothing else. But at this point, he's at the end of the rope, so the pitch count may not be as big a deal as it was earlier. The 2-2 pitch, they set up inside. Down and in, sinker misses. Full count. Michael Harris stands on deck. You wonder if they may be pitching around Sean Murphy. So you got a full count. Riley at third base, the payoff. Swing, that ball's lifted high and deep into left field. But it's not going to stay fair. He hammered that into the night, into the upper deck. But it's just a loud strike. Full count. Right in his wheelhouse. That's a dangerous spot to pitch Sean Murphy. The payoff, outside wide ball 4. He'll head on down to first. Good at bat by the Smurf. We've got runners on the corners. 2 outs. I think that's going to be about it. It is. They'll chase him out of the game. We'll be back in a flash. Braves lead it 3-0. We've got runners on the corners. This day in 1917, after the Boston Red Sox starter Babe Ruth walks leadoff man Ray Morgan on 4 pitches, home plate umpire Brick Owens ejects him when their shouting match concerning called balls and strikes digresses into a physical confrontation. Ernie Shore comes into the contest, retiring the next 26 batters, with Morgan thrown out trying to steal, second on the relievers' first delivery in the 4-0 victory over the Senators at Fenway Park, a game that is considered Major League Baseball's first combined no-hitter. On this date, 1962, Larry Doby becomes the first player with Major League experience to sign with the Japanese team. The future Hall of Famer will play with Chanucci in the NPBL, but the former Indians outfielder will hit only .225 for the Dragons. And if you think your team's going through a slump, on this date in 1963, the Colt 45s, 40 consecutive innings without scoring a single run, ends with Howie Gauss's second inning single in an 8-1 loss to the Reds at Crosley Field. Houston will immediately begin another scoreless streak of 30 innings before scoring again. 70 of 71 innings scoreless, a Major League record. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Welcome back. Right-hander Budo's coming on. He's usually their guy that they go to try to calm the waters. Pretty good right-hander. We got to him a little bit last week, but all in all, he usually has our number. He's got a 2.75 ERA this year. He's set to face Ozzie Albies. Full count. I'm sorry, Michael Harris. I got like 3 things that went back wrong with that screen all at the same time. First pitch on the way to Harris is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Runners on the corners. You got Riley at third with good speed if there's a wild pitch. Sean Murphy at first. 1-0. Swing and a miss, changeup. 1-1. I'm not sure why you throw him anything else there. He went diving after that changeup, run his shoe tops. 1-1 count. You love a wild pitch here. Swing, slices it foul, sinker, 96 miles an hour, 1-2. Braves lead it 3-0. We're here in the 5th inning. One-two count. Kicks and fires. Swing, chops it over towards second. Should be an easy play. 4-3 put out. They just got him by about a quarter step, and that'll end the inning. Braves threaten but can't get him home. We'll be back in a flash. Braves lead it 3-0. Still got a long way to go.
So there was these 2 guys, and they was talking, and one of them said, "How's your romance life?" And the other one said, "Oh, nothing special. I'm having Social Security romance." And the other one said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I get a little each month, but not enough to live on."
I've had a slight fluctuation with my weight recently.
I see. And how much weight are we talking about?
I gained and lost 60 pounds in 3 months.
Wow, that's almost impossible.
Well, first of all, through God, all things are possible, so jot that down.
Over the weekend, I took my wife to a theater to see a performance that was all about puns. It was a play on words.
Number 22, Jim Palmer.
Jim Palmer was absolutely fantastic.
Palmer with strikeout number 5 on that whistling fastball.
Palmer was tough as nails. He never would give in.
He could strike you out. He could embarrass you.
And he did so for 19 seasons with picture-perfect mechanics.
Everything about it was so straight. He looked like Tinker Toys. Everything was angular. And he was fun to watch because of that.
He was just 20 years old in 1966 when he threw a shutout in the Fall Classic, helping Baltimore secure its first World Series championship.
No one could have assumed that he would go on to become one of the 9 greatest right-handed pitchers in the history of baseball.
But he came back big time in '69.
One run ain't gonna do it. That's just what we need to wake us up. But go after him. Come on, Jim.
And he never looked back.
One of the most endearing qualities that Jim Palmer had brought to the Baltimore Orioles was the fact that he had won 20 games on 8 different occasions. The most impressive thing that you have to look at with regard to Jim Palmer's record is the fact that there was durability.
He also owns a bit of trivia that is simply out of here. No grand slams in almost 4,000 innings.
You better lower your mother tone when you talking to me.
Spencer Schwellenbach goes back to work. Braves leading 3-0. First pitch on the way is a sinker inside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 right there, sinker on Taylor, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Slider down and away, 1-2. The 1-2 chops it over to second. Kind of a half-hearted check swing that gets Taylor on a 4-3 put out, 1 down. I'll take that anytime. He's got an uncanny ability to go off against the Braves pitcher. Jared Young, the designated hitter, stands in. 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Righty-lefty matchup. Batting .158 with 3 homers. First pitch on the way is a curveball. Well off the plate, 1-0. The 1-0. Misses high, 2-0. 2-0 count. Pitch swung on, foul back. 2-1. The 2-1. Swing, slices it back. I think the screen is slowed down, so we're going to dip out on that for 1 second. Get you straightened back up. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the fastball, 98 miles an hour, right down the pipe, 2 down. Good pitch by Schwellenbach just off the edge, fading away. And Schwellenbach, still with only 2 strikeouts on the night, that's incredibly low for him. First pitch to Torrens, down and in. It's 1-0. Thank you for the contribution, CT. 1-0. Slider grabs the inner edge, 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch, swing, chops it foul. Sinker back behind home plate, 1-2. Braves 3, Mets nothing, bottom of the 5th. Due up in the 6th inning, we'll have Eli Allen and then back to Acuna. Infield back into the left, playing Torrens to pull, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He hasn't used that splitter much tonight, but that one, man, that was a good one. We'll be back in a flash. We might see more of that when we return.
If your name's Brandon and you're from the Shreveport area, you don't know me, but you put me down as a reference for that equipment operating job. I'm assuming you got your numbers mixed up. But I just need you to know, dog, I went to war for you. Stood on all 10, son. You probably gonna get that job. Because I let them know you can run anything from a shovel to a traco to run the job, to put them in the office, clean the toilets, it don't matter. I told them how you know how to weld, electrician, certified plumber, jack of all trades, man. I told them how you don't take vacation, got to kick him off location. Told them how only Christmas gift you need, come to work. Brandon, that boy ain't seen his kids since they was born, 10 years old. All he does, work, put in all the overtime. Told him that you was going to bankrupt the company, how much they's going to pay you. So told him if I had 2 of you, send the rest of the boys home. Don't need them. So just saying, dog, when it comes time to them checks, just remember your boy, all right?
And the 3-time Cy Young Award winner relished his role.
You have 3 ways that you can attack a hitter: in and out, up and down, and back and forth by changing speeds. Pedro mastered all 3 of those elements.
The end result of Pedro's prowess were some of the greatest pitching seasons the game has ever seen.
This is a man who in 1999 and 2000 had 2 of the greatest pitching seasons in the history of baseball.
And the difference between his ERA and the league average is well more than 3 runs per game. That differential is ridiculous.
And his 291 ERA plus in 2000 is the best in the modern era.
He knows he's going to get it, he just doesn't know when.
Pedro's mark of 10.04 Ks per 9 innings is the highest ever for a righty with 2,000 innings. And his whip is 3rd best.
And you talk about domination.
Bottom line, Pedro Martinez owns the highest career ERA plus of any starting pitcher ever.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Y'all are my safe space. That was pretty funny. Braves lead 3-0. If Chris Sale's got a cracked rib, I'm going to have to ask him to sit down and be covered in ice, not leaning on that rib over the cage. Eli White leads us off. Righty Budo back out there. First pitch on the way, chop foul, sinker. Down and in, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it. Dribbles it over to short. Lindor has it. Man, that was close. Eli White was booking it down the line, and they got him by about a quarter step, but that's it. Kind of a lackadaisical throw by Lindor. He may not realize how fast Eli is. Eli was flying down the line. I'm taking another look at it real quick. Man, that was close. Nick Allen, your batter, who's 1 for 2. First pitch, swings at it and hits it over to third, and that'll be an easy out. 5-3 put out. The throw took Alonso up the line a little bit. He had plenty of time to tag the runner. So just like that, just a few pitches and 2 outs. Another bad throw by Beatty. He's had the yips a little bit over there. That's why we didn't see him in the series in Atlanta. First pitch on the way to Ronald Acuna Jr. is a slider off the edge. It's 1-0. You'd want to see Budo have to throw some pitches because he's one of their better bullpen pieces, and he's being brought in to try to keep them in the game. The 1-0, swing, fits it back foul, 1-1. Braves lead, but the lead is only 3. And the Mets still have 4 more at bats. Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-1 in the 5th. That series is in St. Louis tonight. The 1-1, outside wide 2-1. 2-1 count. Brings it. Swing, fouls it back. 96 mile an hour. Heater right down Main Street, but couldn't time it up. I don't know what they're saying, but the Mets broadcast is ticked off about Acuna's home run. Celebration is the 2-2 inside 3-2. They showed him when he does the thing where he holds his ear holes like a grenade's going off, and then he did his little shimmy in between second and third. The 3-2 swing, slices it back. Do it again. I got to remember to try to go back and listen to that, because I bet it was priceless, whatever they were complaining about. Full count to Acuna. I'll never forget that rant. We have it somewhere. It plays every once in a while, where Ozuna hit that home run against the Phillies. The 3-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Nasty sweeper. Didn't hit the spot, but it got him out. We'll be back in a flash. The Mets grab the bats. Your score 3-0.
Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. The Cubs winning the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
Let's pull up our bootstraps, oil up a couple of asses, and do a little plowing of our own. Not gay sex.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was just a time that my career was really just starting. I'd learned a lot. I was kind of getting stronger. I was starting to be able to do things I hadn't been able to do.
And he smoked one to deep right field. That ball jumps off his bat.
And just say, okay, I can do that. Let's push for more, right? And never stop trying to get better.
Mattingly hits one out of here. Holy cow. 4 for 5 for Mattingly. His 35th home run and RBI number 145. What a year.
Donnie was the MVP that year. And, that year was just amazing to watch.
The MVP award was the capstone of a tremendous year, but it was also bittersweet, with the Yankees missing out on the postseason despite winning 97 games.
We were like probably the second or third best team in baseball, record-wise. I mean, teams like us should have been in the playoffs and at least had a chance.
We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Spencer Schwellenbach goes back to work, 6th inning. First pitch is a 95-mile-an-hour P at the knees. Brett Beatty, it's 0-1. Schwelly, 62 pitches, so he's doing very well on that count. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 97. It's 0-2. Beatty hit a single his first time up. Rose his OPS to 666 and his average to 213. The 0-2. Swing rips it, and that's another base hit. The number 9 hitter, Brett Beatty, has got papers on Schwellenbach tonight. He owns him. You wonder why you give him another fastball with 2 strikes there. That's a 97-mile-an-hour heater right down Main Street. All the pitches he has, dialing up that fastball is a little strange. So the tying run moves to the on-deck circle. First pitch on the way. 96 right down the pipe to Lindor. It's 0-1. Francisco Lindor 1 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center and singled to second base his last time up, moving Beatty to second. He's looking to do more of the same. Infield back into the right. Riley by himself on the left side of the infield. The 0-1. Swing. Chops it over first. Olsen tags the bag, fires it down to second. They got a double play. Great defensive play by Olsen. He scoops it, touches the bag, and then fires an absolute P to Nick Allen, who applies the good tag.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House. Ice House. Smooth as it gets.
He hit the pillow and fired a strike to second, all in one move. Great defensive play. So that'll clear the bases and bring Brandon Nimmo to the plate. First pitch to Nimmo, swung on, chopped foul, cutter underneath his hands. It's 0-1. Man, if he can get this out of here fairly quickly, we might be looking at him flirting with another complete game. The 0-1. Way outside wide, bounces off the mid of Murphy. 1-1. Wouldn't that be huge if you didn't have to use your bullpen tonight? 3 more games, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. All 4 games this week, 7-10. Is the 1-1's in the dirt, splitter misses 2-1. Then you got a Friday night game against Philadelphia, 7-15, 2-1. Nowhere near the zone, 3-1. And then a Saturday night game against Philadelphia at 7-15. So 6 night games this week. The 3-1. Swing, pops it up. Back out of play, we'll do it again. I mean, you got to throw it across the zone here. You can't walk Nimmo with Soto standing on deck and Alonso in the hole. Rather see those guys in the 7th. The payoff pitch, nowhere near the zone, ball 4. He'll head down to first. And troubles are brewing here in the bottom of the 6th. He's still at a low pitch count at 72 pitches. But you don't want a long inning, especially late in the game. They set up out wide, first pitch on the way. That curveball misses well down and in. It's 1-0. Soto 0 for 2 with the fly out and a line out. He's hit both of the pitches he's hit today, he's hit pretty hard. The 1-0. 95 sinker sneaks in. Right there on the inner cut, it's 1-1. 1-1 count. Nimmo leaning off of first base. Infield is back into the right. There is nobody near third base. Riley's essentially playing short. Schwellenbach flips it over to first to keep the runner close by. You know, I wonder sometimes with the way the Braves deploy the shift constantly, if that may have something to do with why Riley's numbers are just incredibly inconsistent over there. The 1-1, swing, lifts it, high and deep. She gone. 2-run shot, and the Mets have made it a 1-run game. Well, just like I mentioned, you did not want to be walking Nimmo and Schwellenbach on the rocks. Clinging to a 1-run game. 2 outs here in the 6th. Same thing he did against Soto in Atlanta. He laid it about knee high over the plate, and that, for some reason, Smurf thinks that's the place to go, but that is the second time in a week that Soto has shot it over the left center field wall when they've done that. First pitch on the way to Pete Alonso, who can tie this sucker up with one swing. It's 0-1. Alonso, 18 home runs on the year. That was Soto's 17th. The 0-1. 97 misses inside, 1-1. That looked like a strike, but didn't get the call. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Check swing foul, 1-2. One-two count. Swing, fouls it straight back, 98 miles an hour. He was on that one, too. He sizzled it right back to the backstop. When you see that, they were on it. The other thing you did is you woke the crowd up. Juan Soto hammering that home run over the left center field wall has woken up this crowd. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three, got out of it. That'll end the inning. But not for Juan Soto. Jammed one over the left center field wall. It's 3-2. The Braves still have the lead.
Do not put your Christmas tree up yet. Don't you dare disrespect Thanksgiving like that. Who can't? It's up. Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. I don't know what y'all expect from me, a shrine to the pilgrim.
There's a drive at the deep left field. Look out now. That ball is going down. World Series another. And they're resting. Hits it over the left field fence for a home run, and the Pirates win it 10-9 and win the World Series.
You like it cold in your room when you sleep?
No, I like it perfect.
What's perfect?
About 77.
If I went to somebody's house and they had their thermostat turned up to 77, I would leave, get in my truck, and call the police.
One question we've been asking a lot of the ball players across the league, who would be the one ball player if they had to pay to see, and like 70% of them are saying you.
For that stretch, there wasn't a better player in the game, defensively, offensively.
He was as good as there was. He just played the game with a great passion because he could do the little things. He could rise to the occasion. If you needed a double, you needed a home run, he could do that. And Donnie didn't strike out, and I'm sure when he struck out, he wanted to break something every time he did. I was the same way.
For me, I just hardly ever struck out. You know, I could always just, what I swung at, I hit.
Oh, what a butcher boy job that was, huh?
A Mattingly strikeout was so rare that from 1984 to 1986, he was more than twice as likely to either double or homer than go down on strikes, a notion that would be unheard of now.
This hit way back in right field. I mean, that bat came around like a rattlesnake.
Welcome back. Braves lead by only one now. Ryan Stanek coming in with a 4.68 ERA. He's the guy you can get to. Seen him several times over the years. Been all over the league. Matt Olson leads us off. The first pitch on the way. It's a sweeper right down Main Street. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Infield back into the right. Brings it in the dirt. 1-1. Went with the splitter. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Splitter up top. 1-2. Ozuna and Riley to follow. 1-2 count. Stanek, the right-hander, brings it. In the dirt, 2-2. Matt Olson 1 for 3 with a double in the third. He came around to score. Braves looking for some big-time insurance here in the seventh. The 2-2. Swing. Lifts it down the left field line. High and deep, but plenty foul. Olson now batting .251 on the year with 15 home runs, 49 RBI. The 2-2. High and out of the zone. That was his 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He can still bring it. It's full count. Just accuracy that he has struggled with over the years, but he still has high heat. The payoff, swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider right there in his wheelhouse. It couldn't connect. 1 down. You play this out, you would think they probably want Spencer Schwellenbach to go out at least one more inning. He's sitting at 80 pitches, and he would be set to face McNeil, Taylor, and Young. And then you get into the play of what do you do then? As the first pitch on the way to Ozuna is high and out of the zone, it's 1-0. And with the righties due up, I would think they're probably going to go with Iglesias and then set it up where Dylan Lee would face Soto. The 1-0 in the ninth. Down and in 2-0. That's it. That's if it all plays out the way you want it to. But the Braves need, we've been talking about this for a while, we need more runs on the board. 3 just does not feel like enough. 3 smells like extra innings. The 2-0. Grabs the outer edge with the slider. Might have been a bit off the plate, but he got the call. 2-1. Ozuna's 0 for 2 with a walk in the third. Infield playing back into the left. The pitch. Inside, high and inside, 3-1. Outfield's playing pretty straight away and deep. If he slices it down the right field line, he'll run for days because the right fielder's playing pretty much dead away. The 3-1. High and inside, four-seam fastball. Ball 4. So Ozuna will head on down to first. See if that can get things going. Austin Riley, your batter. 1 on, 1 out. First pitch on the way is 99 in on the hands, but called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. That 99 four-seam fastball was a strike on the outer edge. 0-2. 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. 99 off the plate, 1-2. Good take by Riley. Trying to get him to chase out there. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. Two count. Standing on deck is Smurf, and then Ozzy to follow. The 2-2. Oof. We'll take it. Ball 3. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's another blown call by home plate umpire Todd Titchener. I can't believe it's the payoff pitch. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Watching the Met cast off to the side, and they had no problem with that ball being called. He said tails out of the zone, but the Braves showed what you see on the screen where it was right there at the top of the strike zone. Payoff pitch. Swing. Rolls it over towards third, but it'll go foul. We'll do it again. Cardinals all over the Cubs tonight. 6-1 in the sixth. We'll hit the out-of-town scoreboard here in a second. Reds lead the Yankees 4-1 in the sixth. So things not going our way on those ends. A 3-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Slider, got him, 2 down. The out-of-town scoreboard, Arizona leads the Arizona leads the White Sox, I should say, 7-0. They're in the fifth in Chicago. Pirates 3-2 over the Brewers in the fifth. Mariners 6-0 in Minnesota. Cardinals 6-1 over the Cubs, as we just said. First pitch to Ozzie is a slider down and in. It's 1-0. Sean Murphy moves to the on-deck circle. Orioles Rangers, it's a final 6-0 already. They've already finished that game. 1-0. Slider catches the outer edge. It's 1-1. Braves lead at 3-2, but they've left some golden opportunities to score out there on the wayside, and then one swing has made this a 1-run game. 2-run home run by Juan Soto. The 1-1 chops it into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Not a hard hit ball, but hit them where they ain't, and Ozzie Albies gets on board.
I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, I'm the Wiz, and nobody beats me.
On the play, it was such a softly hit ball, almost a golf swing to go down there and get it, but it was such a softly hit ball that even Ozuna was able to go from first to third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Hefner, the pitching coach, is going to go out there and talk to Stanek again. Sean Murphy moves to the plate, and Michael Harris is on the on-deck circle. You wonder if the conversation may be, do you want to pitch around Murphy, although you're putting another run into a scoring position. Man, they're spending a long time out there. Usually the umpire goes out there and breaks that up. He's letting them eat sandwiches, smoke cigarettes, drink a couple of beers. So everybody will go back to their positions. Runners on the corners, 2 out. Sean Murphy, the batter. First pitch, high and out of the zone. Sweeper misses. It's 1-0. A base hit would score a run, and we could really use that insurance run. Of course, if you get one down in the gap with 2 outs and Ozzie's speed, he might score as well. Stanek turns around and flips it over to first. Pretty good pickoff move, but Ozzie was down underneath the tag. Smurf 1 for 1 with a sac fly, a single, a walk. 1-0. Inside, 99-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-0. Two-0 count. I mean, honestly, if I'm Stanek, I'm probably thinking about just pitching around him altogether. The 2-0 takes a swing at a slider nowhere near the zone, 2-1. Now, he was trying to walk him, but Sean Murphy helped him out with the bad swing. Left-hander in the bullpen warming up for the Mets. The 2-1. You go around. He did, 2-2. So Murphy, who had a 2-0 count on him, he has chased both pitches in the dirt. When I say the dirt, I mean they both hit the dirt. And now he's down to a 2-2 count. Deuce is wild here in the top of the 7th. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-2 count. Murphy takes his timeout real quick. Two on, two out. The 2-2 pitch brings it. Swing and a miss, strike three. And he yells emphatically as he punches out Smurf, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the seventh, clinging to just a one-run lead, Braves country.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. A one, a two, a three. We out to the ball game. We out to the top. Find me something up and crack Jack.
Welcome back. First pitch was a ball to McNeil. The 1-0 is swung on and hammered down the right field line. It's 1-1. Righty-lefty matchup. I believe that's Pierce Johnson warming up in the Braves bullpen. McNeil 0 for 2, the 1-1. Swing, pops it up, can of corn. He throws the bat into the night. Riley makes the catch, one away. It's always dumbfounded me when these guys, they throw their bats and stuff like, yeah, it's the bat's fault. One down. Schwellenbach sitting at 83 pitches. First pitch to Taylor is a slider at the knees. Called for a ball. Bad call by home plate umpire Todd Titchener. It's 1-0. Tyrone Taylor 0 for 2. Swing, lifts it. Pop up, can of corn. Over to short. Nick Allen gets it quickly, 2 down. He can have a very economical seventh here. You could see him back out for the 8th. I think the complete game is cooked. You don't want to bring him out there clinging to a 1-run lead in the 9th, if that's the circumstance. Young, designated hitter, stands at the plate. He takes the first pitch curveball. Did he go around? They check down the third base side to John True Payne. Didn't look like he did. He did not. It's 1-0. Schwellenbach sitting at 4 strikeouts, the 1-0. Swing, chops it foul, 1-1. 1-1. Inside. 2-1. 2-1 count. The 2-1 swing. That ball's ripped over to second, but it's an atom ball, and Ozzie Albies makes the catch. That'll end the inning. 1-2-3. Schwellenbach. He's dealing. We'll be back in a flash.
Yesterday, I was racking up to play pool with my son. He said, "Dad, you want a break?" I said, "Why? We just started."
I'm telling you right now, y'all better get y'all ass back into work. If you able to get your ass up at 4 in the morning every single day and take your ass to work, then good for you, because I ain't got to get up till 6. I love y'all.
All right, I have diabetes. It hurts me to pee and it causes me to be short with my family. I can't sleep at night. The other day, I stubbed my toe and took it out on the dog. And 2 weeks ago, I ran out of vanilla ice cream and struck my wife. And then I find out my wife's been dead for 6 years. Who the hell did I hit?
Bag 3. 8 strikeouts for Tom Seaver.
Tom was a real competitor, and he loved winning.
And right from the start, he was terrific.
The finest young right-hander in baseball, Tom Seaver.
The Rookie of the Year and an All-Star in '67, Seaver was an elite power pitcher who became synonymous with the term drop and drive.
If you say drop and drive to anyone who pitched, they would think primarily of Tom Seaver. That's where his power came from.
If I wanted to hit a Nats rear end on that side of the plate, I'd do it. If I wanted the Nats rear end over here, I'd do it. Every pitch I threw was exactly what I wanted to do.
Seaver struck out more than 200 batters in 9 consecutive seasons, the longest stretch of all time. He once fanned the last 10 batters in a game, part of a 19K effort in a winning performance against the Padres.
Tom Seaver is the perfect example of a power pitcher that can pitch to spots, and that's an unbeatable combination.
Seaver has become the 17th man in the history of baseball to win 300 games.
He was voted into the Hall of Fame on 98.84% of the ballots.
How may I help you?
I thought you quit.
Relapse. So how may I help you?
Welcome back. Schwellenbach, he may be done. He's giving handshakes and everything. He's at 89 pitches. But it looks like he is done. So we'll see how that plays out. But Michael Harris leads us off. First pitch on the way to Harris is chopped off his instep. That pitch was about 4 inches inside. Reed Garrett taking advantage of his strike zone. It's 0-1. The 0-1. It is going to be Iglesias in the 8th to show him warming up over on the Mets cam. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Splitter, it's 0-2. So that's what I was guessing, was that they were going to go Iglesias in the 8th, and then if you can get Dylan Lee to the 9th, if everybody goes in order, it'd be 2 lefties due up. Splitter down and in 1 and 2. If they go down in order next inning, the 9th inning would be Nimmo, Soto, and then Alonso, the 1-2, in the dirt 2 and 2. They don't typically pinch hit for Nimmo, so I don't think they would. 2-2 count. Harris trying to work his way aboard somehow. He's 0 for 2 on the day. 580 OPS. The 2-2. Swing, chops it off his foot. Do it again. So if you realize 700 OPS is considered around average, 580 is incredibly low. 2-2 count. What's so amazing about this, it looked like he was taking off at the end of last year. If you remember, he was the hottest bat going into that October. He's the only one that really did anything against the Padres in the playoffs. You were expecting him to take that next step, but it just doesn't appear that the work was put in. The 2-2. Swing and chases one down and away. Do it again. That's the risk you take, though, when you sign these young players, these long deals. Are they motivated? Or have you seen their ceiling and you just didn't realize it? The 2-2. Swing, slices it foul. Do it again. Two count, Reed Garrett. So with the 8th pitch of the at-bat, swinging and a miss, strike 3. One down. But he's not the one that makes out the lineup card. Putting him at 7th, it's comical at this point. One away. That should bring Eli White to the plate unless they pinch hit. Eli will stand in. First pitch, 98 sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. Braves scored 1 run in the second, 2 in the third, and that's it. Goose eggs ever since. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. Garrett comes set, brings it. Swing and a miss, cutter up top, 1-2. The 1-2. Chased it well off the plate, strike 3. At bottom of the order, just continues to be a dead zone. They basically sit back and wait for the top of your order to hopefully do something and then get your pitching. The pitching's been very good tonight, but every night you're just hoping the pitching is going to be good enough. It's the first pitch to Allen. It's a sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. Nick Allen. He does have a base hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. The 0-1, swing, chops it foul, 1-2. One-two count. Garrett comes set. Swing. Smacks back the sweeper to the backstop. We'll do it again, 0-2. Same two teams tomorrow night. Spencer Strider set to do his work versus Frankie Montas, who's making his season debut. Then it appears it's going to be Didier Fuentes on Wednesday versus Clay Holmes. That's why these first 2 games are very important for the Braves in this series. The 0-2 well off the plate, 1-2. Grant Holmes will be on the bump on Thursday. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. Cunha is standing on deck if he can find his way aboard. By the way, I went back during one of the timeouts and replayed what they were talking about with the Cunha his home run trot. They were just ticked off. That's the short of it. The 2-2. Swing, pops it up. If it's in the air, it ain't going far with Nicky swinging the bat. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
You most certainly have heard of Ted Williams, one of the greatest hitters of all time. But have you heard of Ted Williams, the pitcher? On August 24th, 1940, the Red Sox were facing off against the Detroit Tigers at Fenway Park in the first game of a doubleheader. Ted Williams would struggle at the plate that game, going 0 for 4 with a strikeout. The Red Sox didn't fare much better. Their starting pitcher, Joe Heving, would allow 7 earned runs in just 2 1/3 innings. The next pitcher up, Yank Terry, didn't fare much better, giving up 4 runs in just 2 innings of work. Going into the 8th inning, things were looking bleak for the Red Sox, who were trailing 11-1. Manager Joe Cronin would make one last pitching change, calling out a tall right-hander from left field. He was calling on Ted Williams to finish the game. In his only pitching appearance in his career, Williams would handle himself pretty well. In 2 innings of work, he allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run. His biggest moment would come in the 9th inning when he struck out Rudy York on 3 straight pitches. Prior to that at-bat, York had drove in 5 runs with a homer, a double, and 2 singles. Even though he was solid on the mound that day, he never again was asked to pitch, and thus ended the pitching career of Ted Williams. Have a story about a Hall of Fame hitter coming in to pitch? Share it in the comments.
Roger Clemens broke into the majors in the mid-1980s. He brought a whole lot of heat.
Right down the center of the plate and just overpowers it.
I'm a power pitcher. I enjoy the second part of that because I can pitch.
Case in point, 1986 when he was the All-Star Game MVP and won both the AL Cy Young and MVP awards.
In the decade of the 1980s, without question, Roger Clemens was the most dominant pitcher in the game.
His 13-year run in Boston was marked by a pair of incredible feats.
Clemens has set a major league record for strikeouts in a game. 20.
He's the only man ever to reach those heights twice.
Roger, year after year, was just a great pitcher, and he was a fierce competitor.
Join the country club today. Help support Braves. Welcome back. Iglesias is on, so we'll see how this plays out. Spencer Schwellenbach's night is done. They pulled him at 89 pitches. He finished with 4 strikeouts. 1 walk, 2 earned runs, 4 hits. The big one was the home run hit over the wall in the left center field area by Juan Soto. The 2-run shot that made it a 1-run game. Luis Torrens, the catcher, will lead it off. The first pitch on the way. 94 off the plate, though he's been given that all day long to the Mets pitching staff. It's 1-0. 1-0. 94 off the plate, 2-0. Tell you right now, if he's not going to give him the wide strike he's been giving everybody else, Iglesias is going to be in trouble because that's where he lives. The 2-0 count. 94 right there on the intercut. 2-1. Not so much that second pitch, but that first pitch. That's a strike in Iglesias' book. The 2-1. Sizzle back foul, 2-2. The infield is back into the left, playing Torrens to pull. Standing on deck would be Beatty unless they pinch hit for him. Looking at the Mets bench is the 2-2. Swing, chops it foul, will do it again. Who they have available on the bench, Hayden Sanger, the other backup catcher, is the 2-2. That ball's chopped back foul. That was the changeup this time. Ronnie Mauricio is available to pinch it. Travis Jankowski, is a good left-handed bat off the bench. They also have Starlin Marte, the 2-2. Swing, rips it over to short. Allen's got it, plenty of time, fires it, bullet over to first, and it's a 6-3 put-out, 1 away. Jankowski, to me, seems like the likely choice against Iglesias. We'll see what they decide to do. If they did that, you could put Mauricio at third. But they're going to leave Beatty in, so first pitch on the way. 96 inside, it's 1-0. Beatty is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. raising his batting average up to 218. The 1-0. 96, four-seam fastball. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swing, chops a changeup back foul. One-two to Beatty. The pitch, swing, dribbles it over to second. Ozzy's got it with these 4-3 put out. Two down. And that'll flip the lineup over one more time. Francisco Lindor, and this is where the rubber will meet the road. Braves got to find a way to get through the next four batters. Francisco Lindor. First pitch swinging, changeup, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Lindor over his lifetime in 10 at-bats is 2 for 10 versus Iglesias with no extra bases. He does have an RBI and a walk, though. The 0-1 swing, rips it into center, and that'll get through for a base hit. Braves on the shift, and Lindor hit it through that shift. So 1 on, 2 outs, and the worst nightmare. Juan Soto coming to the plate, representing the go-ahead run. With the game on the line. And the question is, do you go get Iglesias to get Lee? I'm sorry, Nimmo. I got ahead of myself. It's Nimmo. First pitch on the way is a 94-mile-an-hour sinker. It's 0-1. Lee is warmed up in the bullpen. That's my mistake. I'd gotten ahead of myself on the batting order. I would think that if he can't get Nimmo, you're going to see Lee in this inning. The 0-1. 95 misses high. 1-1. 1-1 count. If he can get Nimmo, you would have Soto to Alonso to McNeil due up in the ninth. The 1-1, swing and a miss changeup, 1-2. And though that's not going to be easy with Dylan Lee on the mound, you do like your chances with the lefty going up against Soto and McNeil. It's not going to be perfect with the lefty-righty. The 1-2, swing hits it hard through the hole, and that ball gets through for a base hit. And Lindor is going to go first to third as Acuna is slow getting to the ball. I don't think it would have mattered. You've got runners on the corners, 2 outs, and Juan Soto coming to the plate. And I know they wanted to get through this inning, but I think you'd have to be insane to leave Raziel Iglesias out there. Snicker is going to pull the trigger, so Dylan Lee probably should have been pulled the batter before, but he's going to come out and try to put out this fire.
How much is the rent for this beautiful apartment?
Ma'am, you're in the liquor store.
Quick story about Marcus Mariota. You know, people ask me about him all the time, and he's such a great player, but his best attribute is how quick-witted he is. People don't know this, but his freshman year, he worked at a grocery store in town to kind of pay the extra bills. And he was at the register one day, and this great big woman comes in, and she said, "I'd like to buy a half a head of lettuce." And he kind of looked at her funny, said, "We don't sell half heads, only whole heads." And she got all mad. So he walked into the back to ask the manager what he should do, and he said, "Hey, I got this great big fat woman out here that wants to buy a half a head of lettuce. What should I do?" And he didn't know it, but the woman had followed him back there. So he looks over his shoulder, and he sees her standing there, and he said, "And this lady wants to buy the other half." So the manager told him afterwards, the manager said, that was impressive. I can't believe you could think that quickly on your feet. And he goes, "That was nothing. I'm used to dealing with stuff like that." He goes, "I'm from Honolulu. There's 2 things we have in Honolulu. It's great football and fat women." And the manager said, "My wife's from Honolulu." And he said, "Well, what position does she play?"
Armchair.
In the 1906 World Series, the Cubs were heavily favored to beat their crosstown rivals, the Chicago White Sox, called the Hitless Wonders because the team averaged just .230 and hit only 7 home runs all season. But no one had counted on the superb pitching of White Sox ace Ed Walsh, master of the spitball.
Big Ed Walsh? Oh, brother. You talk about spitballs. I think that the ball disintegrated and got back together when the catcher got hold of it. I think when it went past the plate, it was just spit going by.
Ed Walsh totally overpowered the Cubs. He pitched a masterful 2-hit shutout to win the 3rd game and then went on to win the 5th. The Hitless Wonders had won the World Series.
Welcome back. Lon Soder to face Dylan Lee. And this is not what the Braves wanted, for Soder to come up with runners on, but here we are, bottom of the 8th inning. Dylan Lee, runners on the corners and 2 outs. First pitch on the way, nowhere near the zone. Slider down and in. It's 1-0. Pete Alonso looms on deck. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. 1-1. Just feels like they got a little greedy trying to get that out with Iglesias and not go get Lee versus Nimmo when there was 1 on and 2 out. The 1-1 in the dirt, 2-1. In fact, that's exactly what it was. They were trying to get Lee to start the 9th inning, and I get that part of it. But that first sense of danger, considering what he's been doing, him being Iglesias recently, you got to go get him. The 2-1. Down below the knees, ball 3, 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Alonso on deck. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's going to have to pitch to one of them. The infield is back into the right. Huge hole on the right side. He just dinks one over there. Going to flip it over to first to try to keep the runner close by. Can't imagine Nimmo would try to steal and take the bat out of Soto's hands. The 3-1. Dylan Lee looks into Soto. The pitch. Swing and a miss slider. Good pitch. Full count. Full count. The pitch on the way. Swing, chops it foul. We'll do it again. Went with the slider again. Runner at first will be on the move. Anything that gets down in the gap is going to be a problem. Still a huge hole on that left side as Austin Riley's being asked to defend the entire left side of the planet by himself. Full count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. Braves lead by 1. The payoff pitch. Swing, slices it foul, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Well out of play. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And, of course, the longer an at-bat goes, the advantage goes to the hitter. Three-two count. Dylan Lee. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3! Smoke him if you got him. He got him, baby. And that'll end the inning. Dylan Lee with a huge strikeout. We'll go to break. Be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Why is it so hard to solve a murder in West Virginia? There's no dental records and all the DNA's the same.
Hey, Braves Country. This is Mac McGee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves country baseball.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Now Don Mattingly, an emerging star. Mattingly last year was called up by the Yankees from Columbus the day Bobby Mercer retired. He'd been with him prior to that, but had been sent out. And he's not only won a spot on the roster, he's in the lineup, he's hitting third, and he's leading the league at .338. That's drilled to the gap in right center field, and it is off the fence. Randolph was running all the way, so he is being waved in. Whitaker's throwing to Parrish is not in time on a double by Mattingly.
First game I went to, May 30th, 1956, Yankee Stadium. We drove from Long Beach, Long Island to the Bronx. Almost took 2 hours. And as we came up into the Bronx and Jerome Avenue, my dad said, there it is. And, you know, I'd seen games before, but on TV. And there it was, and it like ate up the Bronx. It was the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life. And it had that great roof, that green copper roof, and the breeze was just blowing all those pennants in the roof, you know, just going like that, telling you which way the wind was blowing. And I had my glove and everything, and I sat like in between third base and home plate, like real close.
Welcome back. Edwin Diaz is on for the Mets. He's trying to keep the game right here at a one-run game. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead us off as we go to the top of the ninth, clinging to a one-run lead. First pitch on the way to Acuna is a slider well outside the zone, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again, slider. 0-2. (0-2) count. Righty-righty matchup. Diaz, typically their closer, but he's being called on here. That's what I was really hoping is the 0-2 outside the zone, bounces to the backstop, 1-2. Man, I wish he would have swung at that one. That ball rolled all the way to the backstop. He'd be standing at first. Acuna, by the way, is 0 for 5 in his career, and it looks like it against Edwin Diaz. The 1-2, swing, just got a piece of it, chasing that slider off the plate once again. Standing on deck is Olsen. In the hole is Ozuna. If anybody gets on, it'll be Riley and then Ozzie. The 1-2. Swing, pops it up. Can of corn, make it 0 for 6 lifetime. Shallow center field, Tyrone Taylor with the catch, 1 away. Mets will have Pete Alonso, McNeil, and Taylor due up in the 9th inning. Matt Olson. First pitch on the way is a slider down and away. He is 2 for 10 lifetime versus Diaz. 1 walk, 1-0. Chops it foul, 1-1. One count. Matt doubled earlier and scored a run. The pitch, swing, slices it down the left field line. Foul and out of play, 1-2. Looking at the usage of Diaz in these last few games, just wondering how this is going to play out the rest of the series. The 1-2. Swing, slices it foul. Do it again. Edwin Diaz is the 1-2 count. Swing, slices it back. We'll do it again. It appears he was not used at all in the Philadelphia series. That is very strange, but maybe that's why they're trying to get him in here some work tonight, regardless of the score. The 1-2. Swing, chops it into right field. That's through for a base hit. And Matt Olson gets things going. Let's get it, Braves country. 106.
This is not watered down. This is Ice House.
Ice House.
Smooth as it gets.
100.6 miles an hour off the bat of Olson. We've got one on, one out. By the way, Ellie De La Cruz just went yard, giving the Reds a 5-1 lead against the Yankees. I believe they're in the 8th. Marcell Ozuna, your batter now. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch, 97, well below the knees, called for a strike. Another bad call by Todd Titchener. Thankfully, we only have to see him once this series. It's 1-1. The 1-1. High and inside. 2-1. Marcell Ozuna. Two-one pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's 1 for 7 lifetime versus Edwin Diaz, but that one hit was a home run. The 2-2. Down below the knees, 3-2. Full count. Runner at first, one out. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider, that was a nasty pitch right on the edge. He would have called that a strike considering what he's been doing all night. It was technically just off the plate, but he definitely would have called that a strike. And it's up to Austin Riley. Torrens is going to go out there and talk to Austin. I talked to Edwin. Austin is 0 for 6 lifetime versus Diaz. On deck is Ozzie. Can't imagine they're talking about pitching around Austin. He's 0 for 6 lifetime now. Maybe he doesn't have that information with him right on the get, but if you pitch around him and you walk him, then you put an insurance run into scoring position. It may just be talking about how they want to attack him. Riley 1 for 3 with the triple. The first pitch, 99 inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it way inside, four-seam fastball, ball 2, 2-0. Two-0 count. Pitch to Riley. 97 four-seam fastball. He was taken all the way. 2-1. The 2-1. Swing, rips it through the hole. That's going to get through to center field, and we have runners on first and second. There are 2 out, but you keep the line moving. And here comes Ozzie.
You're my boy, Blue! Blue, you're my boy!
Hit that ball right on the screws past the diving attempt of the shortstop, Francisco Lindor. The runner in scoring position will change the camera angle so you can see anything that may happen at the plate. Ozzie Albies, who's 1 for 3. First pitch on the way to Ozzie's, a swing and a miss slider. It's 0-1. Ozzie was hit by a pitch, singled, scored a run. He also stole a base. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Pumped it right by him. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. You got to shorten up your swing if you're Ozzie. Just try to put that ball in play. Funny things can happen. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt. Strike 3. That was not good. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves trying to cling to this victory, and Dylan Lee facing the middle of the order.
Tell me what you hear the sentence as being. Okay.
That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
That's what I got too.
So, are you sure you don't hear that isn't my receipt?
That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
This is the. Just maybe you're hearing Bart Simpson bouncing.
That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
And then
that is embarrassing.
another one. Lobsters in motion.
That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Those people told you for days in advance that if the university sought to go ahead with that construction, they were going to physically destroy the university. Now, why did you
negotiate many times?
Negotiate? What is to negotiate? What is? Well,
The university is a public institution.
That's
It's an
right.
important institution
But the university,
for all of its own community and for the community of Berkeley that live around it.
all of it began the first time some of you who know better and are old enough to know better let young people think that they had the right to choose the laws they would obey as long as they were doing it in the name of social protest.
86, I felt like was my best year. For me, that was like a hit for power, hit for average, my at-bats. I felt like that was like my best year.
Mattingly led the league in hits, doubles, and slugging in 1986, hitting .352 with 31 home runs and finishing runner-up in MVP voting. But despite his success, for the second straight year, a 90-win Yankee team missed the postseason. All Mattingly could do was return in 87 with the same relentless drive as ever.
Oh, Donnie was one of the hardest workers that I had ever seen in play. He would go in the cage before batting practice and take batting practice. Then after batting practice was over, he'd take batting practice.
Dylan Lee set to face the middle of the order, and Pete Alonso leads us off. First pitch on the way is a slider right there on the inner part of the zone. It's 0-1. Pete Alonso, he's 1 for 6 lifetime versus Lee. The 0-1 right there on the inner track. It's 0-2. He has drawn 2 walks. No extra base hits. The 0-2. Swing, chops it foul down the third baseline. We'll do it again. Standing on deck is McNeil. Tyrone Taylor in the hole. My nemesis. The 0-2 count. Swing just got a piece of that slider. Lee's at 12 pitches. That won't really be the issue. They'll leave him out there until something is figured out in this inning. Unless it's a really long inning. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2 slider in the dirt. One-two count. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Change up off the edge. 1 away. Yes, sir. What a pitch. They went slider, lulling him to sleep, and then got him to chase the changeup down off the plate. First pitch on the way to McNeil is swung on and dribbled over to second, and it's a 4-3 put out. Quick out number 2, huge out number 2. Jeff McNeil is about to pull up his stats, but that worked out well. He was 2 for 5 lifetime before that at bat. And now here comes our old nemesis, Tyrone Taylor. Wouldn't you know, we'd have to go up against him. Lefty right. It's funny, Mets fans are leaving the building. They still have an out. They're down by just 1. Slider is he's down below the knees for a ball. It's 1-0. He, by the way, is 1 for 1 lifetime versus Dylan Lee. Of course he is. I don't know if the Braves have ever gotten this guy out. They say he's 0 for 3 today. I don't remember that. You have the 1-0 right there. Change up on the edge. 1-1. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Swing. Fouls it back. 1-2. Mets are down to their last strike, their last out. Standing on deck is Young. They would probably go to Marte for a pinch hit. I haven't seen the... Yep, there it is. Their Starlin Marte swinging an axe on deck. The 1-2. Swing, hammers it down the third base line, but foul will do it again. We do not want to see that man touch the plate today. Leave Starlin Marte with that bat in his hands and let's get the heck out of this dump. The 1-2. They set up outside. Tried to get him, chase that pitch in the dirt, much like they did to Pete Alonso, but that was the 4-seam fastball. That was the change that Alonso dove after. The 2-2 count. The pitch. Swing, sizzles it up the hole, but Ozzy's got it. Flips it to first. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. 3-2 the victory. Game ball. I think you got to give it to Schwellenbach, but I'll tell you what, a tip of the cap to the way Iglesias and Dylan Lee closed that game out, especially Dylan Lee. That was a great step-in save. I can't give it to the guy who pitched 4 outs compared to the guy that gave us 21 outs. Schwellenbach gets our game ball, 4 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 earned, 1 walk. Wasn't his best outing of the year, but man, it was a big one. It was one this team needed. And your Atlanta Braves creep a little closer to the Metropolitans. We've seen them 4 times this year. We've walked away saying Braves win all 4 times. Let's go for number 5 tomorrow night. Spencer Strider on the bump. I'm feeling good about tomorrow, baby. We'll see ya. Braves win a big one in Gotham, 3-2.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
It is the American game. That's just what it is. And actually, I can feel like I'm 15 when I'm talking baseball. I'm watching baseball. This is it. It does this. It can do this to any. It brings you back.